just trying to live. How are you? Guys, make sure to hit that like button as y'all come in, please. It really helps me. You're doing good. Good. That's what I like to hear. Glad y'all are here this morning. Okay. Not really feeling the best. I've got a headache. My nose is icky. Thank you, Jerry. I appreciate you. What's up, Jerry? We're gonna listen to this Repzilla video. I was listening to it before.
It's like hashtag for you page, hashtag for you, hashtag smile, hashtag, you know, you guys let me know what you think below, but it seems like content's content. And that's not to say that these situations are not tragic
Hey, Jerry.
or bad for her, because they are, and it's obvious. And black mold is not good, especially if you have underlying conditions, which this girl claims that she has. Let's take a look at those. Now, there's a large list of things here. I don't think that all of these are diagnosed, but let's go through these. Medical conditions, mental illnesses, or other ailments Kaye has claimed to have experienced. Now, this is anecdotal. Mania, emetophobia, OCD, bipolar, anxiety, anorexia, you know, the list goes on. You can pause to read here. The emetophobia, I believe, was confirmed. I think I've seen medication bottles, but it's something that she is attempting to spread awareness of. She has a playlist called that, and in her link tree, she has, it says emetophobia awareness sufferer. And if you guys don't know what this is, emetophobia is a phobia that causes overwhelming, intense anxiety pertaining to throwing up. This specific phobia can also include subcategories of what causes the anxiety, including fear of throwing up, being thrown up on, or seeing others throw up. She also
I'm really glad I'm about to eat while listening to this.
Write down the emotions that she was feeling throughout the day while dealing with this. Some tiny writing. And to compound the difficulties of this issue was her diet. Oh yeah, here's the pill bottle. It says take twice a day for throwing up. In one TikTok, she shares what she eats in a day usually.
That's just a medication for
heavily with emetophobia. She says she chews a lot of gum, 3 muffins, and a hearty plate of pickles. And then I had a PB&J later in the night. Hashtag would I eat in a day? Now, to be fair, if I ate muffins, pickles, and gum, I think that I would be nauseous. I really feel like most of us would be nauseous. Stack that on with the fact that she actually has a disorder that's supposed to make her nauseous. I bet she feels like crap. She uses creative outlets like journaling and poetry, and she even creates
So what's
songs.
everybody up to today? Sorry, I'm just listening to this. We can talk too, y'all. Y'all just get quiet and don't want to talk to me, I swear.
In one song called Holy Water. Now, I don't think I can play this for copyright. I don't know if there is copyright, but I'm just going to read you some of the lyrics from this song. It's been 17 years of living in a house where no one really cares about you. I'm roommates with the roaches and there's mold in the bathroom. The teeth are falling out, 14 with dental abscesses, won't get mental help till I'm in a mental crisis. Take my medication and I'll try to be stable, but I've got more medication than food on the table. Jesus Christ, empty stomach doesn't mix well with the pills? Oh my god, that's terrible. If you beg for help, then baby, maybe someone will. Oh, I will suffer because my parents' mental health. 17 really dumb, 17 no income. It's just really sad. Now, personally, I believe she gravitates towards cleaning because, well, she's the only one that is cleaning, and she ended up with a job cleaning, as you'll see later in the video, but I believe it's to acquire some semblance of control, since again, she is the only one cleaning. So apparently she went away for 4 days, and when she came back, it was a complete mess. And it looks like, if you just take a look at it, it looks like they just intentionally left out stuff, made the place dirty. Even worse, she attempted to make a sign
What's up,
asking
Victor?
other family members to help keep the house clean. And they responded like this: nah. But it gets worse. Apparently she was expelled from school for allegedly almost causing a classmate to leave the earth.
Get ready with me to go to my little sister's graduation. I'm actually not allowed on any school property in my county because I had motion sickness pills whenever I was 15, so I am expelled from every school in the county. But I don't give so you can't stop me from going to my family's graduations. My little sister is graduating the 6th grade today, and my little brother will be graduating the 6th grade next year.
Now, obviously, that post left out an abundance of information, and people, obviously, being people, were very curious. So she posted another video going into a little bit more detail.
And this is the story of how I got expelled from school. Now, I kept medication on me.
Things have been going. Hey, what's up, Alina?
I would always get motion sickness on the bus, so for years I would carry motion sickness meds with me. And when anybody asked me for medication at school, I was a little slow and did not think about it. But I'd give people Tylenol for headaches.
Ooh, I think I just put way too much in this.
I'd help people with their cramps, whatever. And I would do anything just to feel like I was helping people. Well, that was going to backfire pretty bad later. When a girl who I was ex-friends with overdosed on campus. After her overdose, I had a lot of friends come forward and say that I gave her the medication, saying they saw me give her the medication, which never happened. I didn't give her anything. Anyways, I was checked at school, where they found motion sickness meds and Tylenol on me. I was in a potential murder interrogation because of the allegations. They read my rights to me. They tried to put me on house arrest. I was interrogated, asked a bunch of questions, and I answered everything 100% honestly. The officer did not build rapport. The officer told me that if I was the one to give her the medication and she dies, I will be charged as an adult for murder, for something that I did not.
Whoops.
Just that, I gave in and sent him inappropriate images of myself,
Wait,
even though I knew
whoa.
it was wrong in things like this. And one user said, okay, you made money off this TikTok, go buy a new one. To which she responded saying,
Ma'am, I'm gonna hold your hand when I tell you this. TikTok terms of service state that you must be at least 18 years old to become a creator and earn money on the platform. However, users under 18 can still build a following and create content that can be used to reach out to fans when they are older. Don't make money off of TikTok yet. I will when I'm 18 in October. I'm a minor. I cannot go and judge too soon. I physically choose not to educate myself on the platform because I don't want to scare myself. I will educate myself on it whenever I'm out of this environment. I am a hypochondriac. My air conditioner scares the shit out of me, I promise you. Just as much as it scares you. But whenever you're sleeping by it every night, you kind of get used to it. I'm sorry to the people who find me disgusting. That's just how every AC in the house looks. I have a new air conditioner on the way. It should be here this week. Thank you to the woman who bought it for me. My black mold air conditioner should be gone within the next 2 weeks. I don't know when the package comes. Thank you for listening.
so this is how it begins, the origin of all that is wrong, the e-beggery, the give me money please. This is the start of it, and there were several of these, I'm told, before the age of 18. So now I'd like to
You just gotta go to the building.
You could just
Well, that's good.
lie about your age on TikTok. They're not going to find out. TikTok is made for attention, not truth. The algorithm doesn't verify claims. It promotes what hooks, and audiences don't question the compelling story if it fits what they want to believe. A viral lie, in fact, can convert into real money. Course sales, brand deals, value. Well, at least until it's exposed, and that's why critical thinkers like you exist, because you stand out and question the frame, not just the content. Let's talk about something undeniable in this situation. A very sketchy man named Preston. Kaylee claims to have met an older man when she was 16 named Preston. This is Preston in case you're curious.
When we meet, he watched my TikToks when I was 16. Followed me on Snapchat. We became friends. And afterward, a little bit of that too.
She was 16. Added her on Snapchat, they say. You know, he would eventually become her social media manager, and,
Yikes.
boyfriend. You're not surprised, but Preston has some alleged, things. One user says, Preston groomed me when I was 14. He was 18 to 19. This is the young lady here. She provides a couple pictures with her and Preston. I feel sick reliving all of this every time I see anything about what's happening to Kaye. So here's my story. In 2021, one of my friends from high school sent me his Snapchat. I added it and we started talking. I knew at the time that it was weird being 14, talking, making friends with an 18-year-old. This was before his birthday. But I pushed that to the side since he didn't seem like a threat. We began texting frequently.
Wait, what chick?
Messaging me about music, sending me stuff.
The girl,
that he made,
she's
and
18.
him talking about his
Like,
interests,
just turned
asking me
18.
about- Then it moved on to him asking me frequently for pictures of my face without filters. He knew I was insecure. Then it turned into him asking pictures of my feet. Oh, he's one of those. And eventually into him pressuring me into sending him a foot fetish type pictures and videos, which I did. I told myself I would.
Wait, who are we talking about? The girl in chat? I don't know how old she is. She could be like 12.
After he got tired of feet pictures and videos,
I don't know how old she is. The girl that he's talking about in the video I'm watching is 18. She just turned 18.
Love bomb me, manipulate me, anything he could to get me to let my guard down and give in. Eventually, I did just that. I gave in and sent him inappropriate images of myself, even though I knew it was wrong, both morally and legally. Interestingly enough, you'll hear Kaye talk a little bit later in the video and alludes to the inappropriate pictures on his phone that he should get rid of. Pattern? After I sent those pictures, I went to school and heard girls talking about things only those who saw the pictures of me would know. I went to the resource officer crying, asking him what to do because I was afraid these pictures would somehow get spread around the school. Instead of the resource officer trying to help me and guide me in the right direction, he told me that I would be facing jail time because what I did was illegal. I went home that day and my mom had already been called by said resource officer. She knew everything. She was very upset with me but wanted to press charges on him. That was until I told her that the resource officer had told me about potentially facing legal consequences. After she found out that, she dropped all charges against him. This is only a portion of what happened to me, but this is a super long post and I highly doubt anyone will read all of this. I just feel heavy amounts of guilt knowing I could have put him behind bars and didn't. I live with this in the back of my brain every day, and seeing what Kaye is going through makes me feel sick. I hope that if she sees this, that she knows she can get away from him. She can do it. I believe in her. I just don't want her to end up not alive. But that's not the only one. Here's some additional alleged things and general just creepy things. So this is Preston here with the anime girl profile picture. People have been pointing that out as creepy. Probably. He says, what grade? They say 10. Is that different in NC? Don't think so. I don't know, because 10 in Georgia means sophomore. Yes. And then he says, oh yes, swag, I'm not in school, LMAO. And then here he talks about a girl where he says the PUSSY was fired, though. Here he's talking about kissing the pain away, and they're like, okay. And he's like, oh, for real? For funsies? Oh, worm. On the lips, though? Funsies, would you? I guess. And then he asks, are you
right.
Or in better words, do you have a thing downstairs? They say, I don't know. They say, why do you want to know? He's like, because I'm curious. They say they do indeed have something downstairs, to which he says, that's awesome. One user saying, foul as hell. Another girl posted some screenshots that say, he says, what are you doing? Put your head in my shirt. She says, I'll tickle you. He says, you'll never guess where I'm ticklish. And when I say I lose control, weird face emoji, I can't do it to myself all day long, but the minute I'm touched there, I can't stop laughing and I get sensitive. The person's like, what? And he hearts it and says, yes. She claims he was 21 and she was 17. And Kaye was also aware of these alleged situations.
What I know and what I've seen and what I've dealt with as but just like straight up say like there's other people came out as like straight up say. I understand. Can you say it? Huh? Can you just say it? Can I say it? Yeah. Other people have come out and claimed nothing. Other people have come out and said that they are of Preston. Other people have. They have, and I have seen it. And it makes me sick to my stomach. It makes me sick to my
I have screenshots and everything.
And I want to be in disbelief about it.
And remember the young girl earlier who said that Preston did have inappropriate images of her, which are obviously against federal law. Well, listen to what Kaye says here.
What the minor says does not matter.
Okay, but listen, if the police were ever involved, I'm saying so. Like, I can tell them really whatever, but there's no proof.
Except there's a little bit. Except there is a little bit.
And you think nobody gives a fuck?
Sure, nobody gives a fuck, but there are some things that you would probably want to delete if they did get, you know, a search warrant for your phone. Sorry, the dog in the room. He's itchy. Hey, miss, go back. Shut up. Anyway, yeah, if they had a search warrant for your phone, you'd want to, you know, delete some stuff. Because that would be considered CP because it's minor.
Yeah, I'm so.
I really hope so. The Snapchat ain't so protective.
Well, there's no fucking. Nobody's gonna understand about that.
Yeah, but Preston, after I turn 18, that needs to be gone anyway.
What needs to be gone?
Some videos that you and I took that you might want to delete. That you took of me that you might want to delete. Because I was 17 in those recordings, meaning that can be considered CP, and you don't want to get charged with that. You really don't.
Listen, nobody's gonna be doing shit about that.
Okay, but you might want to just to be safe, Preston, you don't know how far people can take it. And if you were to just completely get uninvolved with me, that doesn't even matter at that point. That's still stuff that needs to be off of your phone.
You can't even like the video? Why?
Well, you would really hate to have that on your record, Preston, and that would suck to have on your record, and it would suck to get jobs if that's on your record. So it's best if you start.
I was just gonna go and drive myself to the police station and
What, you gonna turn yourself in and be like, hey, fuck the minor. Like, what you gonna do? So. If you want to talk to my mother.
So, alleged illegal images on his phone that he doesn't seem to be denying.
Hey. Yeah, you can hit the
listen to
3 dots
song
and
she
go
wrote.
from there too.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to. Well, the lyrics basically say that it's extremely graphic. Apparently, he did some forcing, and I can't even give you the details because YouTube will take this video down. She talks about how he would feed her Plan Bs and be violent about some actions. Oh my god, you don't even want to hear the words. One user saying poor kid, another saying what, another saying what the actual, another saying stuff kind of slaps though, clapping hands emoji. Some people are stupid. Okay, so this relationship is not good. Based on what we've seen from this guy, he's not a great person. But this only scratches the surface upon the terrible
This guy,
things
bro.
that happen within their relationship. As you'll see. This brings us to the first major GoFundMe scam. It was to help her afford a car so she could leave her really neglectful situation at home. As you can see, it's raised over $10,000. As you can see, it was on behalf of Kaye Sins, which is not her real last name, and it's organizing this fundraiser on behalf of Emmy Sakure, which is another alias of Kaylee's. So people should have questioned that, but they didn't. The GoFundMe was linked to actually Preston's bank account, so he took the money and purchased a car in his name, and then they went on vacation together. So according to this timeline here that was posted on Reddit, it says 3 GoFundMe campaigns were created for Kylie. The first was to help her move out when she turned 18, that raised more than $800. The second was to buy and maintain a car that raised more than $10,000 that we saw. The third was to move out and gain independence. In total, it was more than $21,000. Preston under a different name, was named the beneficiary of the GoFundMes. An estimated 95% of the $21,000 raised went directly to Preston's bank account. And of course, this is a scam because we've seen that who it was created for and on behalf of, and it didn't say anything about Preston at all. So Kaylee and Preston went on a vacation, hotel, motel hopping while Kaylee was still underage, spending almost all of the $21,000 of GoFundMe money. Kylie later claimed that she thought she still had $3,000 left, but everything else was gone. She said she didn't realize how fast money was being spent because Preston controlled the funds. When concerns about the spending were raised, comments were deleted and people were blocked. And complimenting this was an apology that was issued by Kaylee where she says, I don't want him to have to drive back today. Frowny face. He doesn't have much money. User says that's his problem. He had plenty beforehand. She says, I know he did. Then it was all spent on hotel. Apparently that's my fault, which of course partly is. User says, no, stop. She says, I didn't understand how much anything costed. He was access to all of it and didn't see the prices. He just booked everything. I don't know. But it's still my fault, I know. She goes on to say, I thank you for that. I understand not agreeing with my decisions. Honestly don't either and always regret almost everything I do. All the money that was spent, I'm so effing regretful. The moment he bought a car, I was so dreadful. I just wanted to see him. He got mad at his dad, so came to Tennessee to see me. Then we spent lots of money on vacation. I really do regret it. I guess it's easy to spend money that's not yours. I was so lucky to have that many people care. Then I trusted him. Frowny face. User says, $21,000 could have gotten you a down payment on a house of your own, girl. She also uses the excuse that he controls the wish list. She says, I hardly touch my wish list. He does it all for me now. If I vocalize, I'm about to do it. And I don't know, Jinx. I can't explain. User says, do you think that's fair to your supporters, them buying things thinking it's for you and it's not, it's for him? One thing you're going to see in this video is that Kaylee has an excuse for everything and nothing is ever her fault, while also saying she knows it's her fault. She does this pity party thing where she excuses herself of accountability while at the same time saying, I know everything's my fault, while at the same time also saying, it was somebody else's fault. She goes into more detail with a video response that I swear to God.
Sorry guys, I'm just listening to this. Y'all can talk in the chat, you know. This is why I watch stuff, because y'all be quiet.
Fuck, it feels so weird talking to a camera. I guess I'm gonna start off by saying I didn't think that I could make my own bank account, and you know who wanted to help me set up a GoFundMe. So he linked it to his bank account. So every donation that I got went straight to him in his bank account.
So I'm going to attempt to make some sense of this. Apparently she's saying she didn't think she could make a bank account because she was under the age 18, I'm guessing. I think that's fair, okay.
And I didn't know how much money I had, other than whenever I'd look at the GoFundMe and actually look at the screen and see what was on there. But other than that, I didn't know what was on, how much money I really had. Nor can I really grasp how much money that was. That was a year's worth of salary. It was someone's salary. That was a shit ton of money.
What? Are you saying that you didn't know how much money you had until you looked to see how much money you had, and then you knew how much money you had?
First, whenever he came, I was 17, he was 22. Of course, whenever he came, I wanted to see him for longer. He was booking places for $600 a week. I never booked a single place, but I also never had access to my money. And I am not trying to take away accountability in this situation because I know I should be held
Chat's
accountable,
been
and I
dead
know
since I started, Jerry.
everyone and anyone who felt
I've only
like
been on
they
for 25 minutes. The chat's been
That
dead.
you're the minor and he's the adult. You did
It's
have
up to
keep
you
the
guys
stay,
to
which you
keep
feel
the chat
responsible for
alive.
because it resulted in him spending large amounts of money.
I'm sitting here
But
trying to talk to
because he's the
y'all,
adult, you
but I'm
expected
also
him to
watching
be more
this.
responsible with your money, well, other people's money.
But apparently I'm manipulative and I'm a liar. And that really gets to my head. Either way, man. Yeah, we blew 18,000 in a month. And I didn't even get to see it all go
It
away.
does.
So I'm going to explain this. Being under the age of 18, she could not link a bank account to her GoFundMes. Someone over 18, the boyfriend in this case, had to be the legal recipient of the donations. Ethically and publicly, she is complicit because she helped promote false narratives. People believed fully that the funds were going to her. Had they known it was going to Preston's bank account, they wouldn't have donated. It's that simple. But no one looked into it to verify. Claims of ignorance are hard to verify, especially if she benefited from any of the money. One user asked, "Did you not go on vacation with the original money?" She said, "I went out, like the money intended. I left, I came back, I'm still using the same money. There's no way y'all believe all of that money was spent in a month." Another user saying, "You said it was spent. Sorry, am I misremembering?" That was Kaylee lying about the money, forgetting she made a video admitting that she spent all the money. Going back to the subreddit ran by Preston's brother, he uploaded a phone call with his brother where Preston admits to quite a bit.
I just don't understand, like, why you feel the need to have to talk to a 17-year-old girl, Preston. I read the whole Reddit thread. Apparently you guys went on a vacation and she had like $21,000 on her card, and now she has $3,000. I basically need you to tell me, what have you done with this girl? Have you had sex with this girl?
No.
Is that a lie?
I'm not going to
What?
explain any information that does not.
Okay, come get something. Cheers, 420 somewhere. You right, it is. Okie doke. Let's listen.
I need to be inside.
Preston, you realize that's illegal. That's a felony, right? You realize there's people trying to get police involved on Reddit and all.
Okay, sorry guys. I'm back. I had to get myself a drink. I better roll up a little blunt or something. I wish Eric was here, but
this girl that is in a poor situation, and you've used her money to buy yourself a car and pay for insurance and all this stuff. Like, why do you think this is okay? Like, I'm coming to you, brother's brother, because this is fucked up, Preston.
So you're going to see multiple times in this video that Kaylee lies about things. She self-admittedly lies about things. And we already know that Preston runs the Amazon wish list as well. Let's take a look at those lists. So on the Amazon wish list here, manatee popcorn machine, $150. Laptop, $449. Mini toaster. I got a LCD digital coin microscope. That's actually pretty cool. Some Dr. Martens for her. Got an adult scooter, got some headphones for him, got some perfume, Viva La Juicy, Victoria's Deluxe Mini Fragrance Trio. I mean, you can see that what this is. Obviously, she's benefiting from these scams and at the same time blaming somebody else.
I wanted to talk a little bit more about everything that I went over yesterday, because I don't feel like it was good enough, and I don't want to be called any names, so I'm going to take off my bonnet, even though my hair looks like basically, a bunch of people think that I manipulated others out of money. I hope you know that the only time that I mentioned my GoFundMe, and every single time that I mentioned my GoFundMe, not to make him look bad, although the only times that I ever mentioned my GoFundMe was whenever I was being told to blast that in every cleaning video. I was being told, hey, make a cleaning video today, and on that cleaning video, you have to talk about the GoFundMe. You have to talk about the GoFundMe, and if you don't talk about the GoFundMe, then this is going to happen. Nobody's going to see your GoFundMe. You're not going to get anything. Oh, and another thing about the GoFundMe, if I wasn't making enough money on the GoFundMe, he'd get mad at me. He'd be like, you're not doing a good enough job making a cleaning video and blast the GoFundMe, and I'd be like, I'd be mad as shit. I'm like, bro, why do you only give a... I thought you loved...
If that logic held, then every criminal could just send stolen money to their girlfriend, and as long as she cried and claimed she didn't know, she'd walk free. That's not justice, it's a loophole for fraud. This girl faked a pregnancy even, which is despicable. And this is content she posted of her showing a pregnancy test here, and apparently someone zoomed in on it. Here's an actual pregnancy test on the bottom, and it looks like this line here is drawn. And she continued to post about it saying, I literally have to stop drinking energy drinks so I can conceive properly, bro. What the F do I tell my doctor? Help. And then got a little advice thing. And even though she's going to try to play this off like a joke and not a big deal, there was subtle signs like this. Prenatal vitamins on the wish list here. They kind of pointed to and indicated that this was a long pre-planned thing. One user saying faking a pregnancy test, faking losing the baby, and putting prenatal vitamins on your Amazon wish list is crazy work. Another user saying, the balancing wash too. Girl, you don't need that. This is unreal. She's probably going to claim that she's just taking prenatal because it's healthy, as I've seen other girls on TikTok do. She's so exhausting. And here's her explaining how it was just a joke and shouldn't be made into a big deal.
People do pregnancy pranks all the time, and it was kind of like shock content. I didn't expect anyone to really see the 2 lines. I just thought it was like, it was just a little funny thing to put in my video and have people be like, oh my god, she just so casually showed that she had 2 lines on her pregnancy test.
One user saying she also said her mom told her to do it. Like, girl, you're an adult. Which is a very shocking thing to read. I have seen some questionable things by her mother in the Reddit. Things that, point to her not being the greatest of people. This is another example of her not taking accountability and using someone else as an excuse. This time her mother. But then there is more evidence that points to this being pre-planned and a little bit more delusional than we thought. Here's her posted again saying the pregnancy test was obviously a joke. I'm sorry. Crying face emoji. She even posted a baby photograph apparently. Here's another one of her saying the pregnancy test was obviously fake and a joke. More so a prank. I wanted to prank y'all. No reason to be so mad. And then at the bottom here, insanely says, I wasn't looking for, abort money. One user saying, you're so weird, bro. Isn't this like the second time you've done this? Her saying, it's not. Never done that before.
Drew a line on a pregnancy test and put it in one of my joke videos. And used it in the clip for, what, like 1 second? And the line was literally so scribbly you could tell it was fake. Like, that's the only reason why I just think that it's a little weird that people are upset. Somebody sent me baby clothes.
And again, it was not obvious to me that this was a joke, and in fact, this doesn't seem like you're joking.
That's something that I have to keep between me and my doctor. And I can't talk about anything. Last year JoJo Siwa faked being pregnant. Oh my god, how the fuck could she do that? Ew. That's so gross. Ugh. Imagine faking being pregnant. Y'all wanna see? Nah, y'all can't see my tummy belly, but faking that syndrome is wild. What syndrome? Oh. I'll give you a story time. No, I won't. You thought. The baby thing is for attention, obviously. Okay. Now y'all just wait. 9 months.
Yeah, that didn't sound like a joke, and, what's this
Bitch is
conversation between Preston
stupid.
and her mom? She is not...
Who's here, anyways?
She drew a lot on a test because I wouldn't take her to get a surrogate. If I told you. That's the last thing she or I need, especially with the internet attention and lack of stability. The mother says that's a sick joke, but it gets even more delusional than that when you see this.
Crying, you do everything you can to stop them from crying until they finally fall asleep.
And what happens when you have this child and you're pregnant and you go through this sickness that every woman goes through during pregnancy?
Not every woman goes through postpartum, I don't think.
Well, they have symptoms of it. I'm not a woman, so I don't know. Anyways, you're going to have some sort of symptoms where you are sick.
I fight, and I will fight, and I will fight, and I will fight, and I will fight for my baby. And I'll fight for my baby. Till I die, I fight for my baby.
So, if you kill yourself because you cannot handle the sickness,
I won't.
you leave a child behind.
I won't leave a child behind. I'm not gonna do that to anybody or anything or anyone.
That's the last thing that you need. A child is
One user saying she needs serious help. Another, she's like, gone. Another, I literally can't defend her anymore. If you take everything at a whole, it puts it within the realm of possibility that she attempted to fake a pregnancy, probably
What
to
the
get
fuck?
clicks and views and money into her GoFundMes or something like that. She got
I am
caught,
Zodiac.
and
The
they tried to
fuck
play
does
it off
that
as a
mean?
joke. This is what it looks like to me.
Like the Zodiac
within the realm of
killer?
possibility. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. But it actually gets worse than that. She self-admitted that she does things for rage bait. Which, if you don't know what that means, it means she does things for the sheer shock value for clicks and views to get engagement and people to her scams.
I said I also often take pregnancy tests, and I held up a pregnancy test where I drew an extra pink line on it to make it look like I was pregnant. Casually. And I just thought that it was funny because of how casual I was just like, yep, pregnancy test. And it was such a short clip, and then basically the video ended. And then people were freaking me out, and they learned that it was fake.
A user saying, I can't believe I donated to her. Another saying, my heart goes out to the mothers who have lost their babies. My heart goes out to the mothers who cannot conceive. My heart goes out to all mothers. Just so we're clear, I want you to know that you guys are out here donating her money. She's using that money that's donated to her to buy pregnancy tests so she can create shock content, so she can get sympathy, so she can get more money for more pregnancy tests. But if you think that's bad, just look how she used the passing of her dog for clicks and views.
What are those stains on the floor? Oh, one could only wonder. What is that? A dead rodent. Callie's been gone for 5 days. Moldy pumpkin. Just feeding it to my dog because he's sick. All the stains on the floor, all that on the floor. It's actually...
She said that she just fed her dog moldy pumpkin.
The stains on the floor, all that floor. Actually, at least that's what I would like to believe. At least that's what I'm telling myself to comfort myself. How the fuck can I find comfort in the fact that my dog is sick and anorexic and nobody has taken him to the vet? They're just like, oop.
This says I'm scared of it. He's also not my animal. I would do more if I could drive my vehicle, but it states away because I am a dummy. My parents are very capable, but just choose not to. I don't know if it's laziness or they just ignore it. I don't know. He's been sick for weeks now. I need advice on what to do. He won't eat. Just so we're clear here, that what she's saying, that's animal neglect.
I'm gonna give him some tapeworm pills. I'm not trying to bash or shit my family, but the dog can do that all he wants to. And I'm gonna leave that in the fucking floor. I would clean it, but it disgusts me way too bad. Not only does it disgust me, but I just don't see how everybody can just walk past it and not give a It's incredibly triggering for me to look at and just wonder, hey, what is that? But then I remember my dog is sick. So yeah, here's just a couple of the stains. I did try to wipe one up with Lysol, it didn't work too well. And here's one by the cords. And now that I'm done doing my work, because what else is there to do? I can't really do anything. I just want out of here. And I already ruined my life. Here's a fun little funny fact. The pillows I get from my Amazon wish list are used to protect the outlet from the leaky ceiling. And I'm not trying to shit my family, but it rains in the living room. And the least you can do is fix the leak. What the
So I hope this painted a picture for you. Now, here's the dog GoFundMe. Timeline's laid out like this. Kaye made a post asking what to give the dog for an upset stomach. A few days later, someone asked how the dog was doing. Dead mice were found near the dog's kennel with organs hanging out, possible poisoning. Kaye returned home after being gone for 5 days and saw the dog was actively vomiting and having bowel movements. She called him anorexic, and more dead mice were found around the house. She later said the dog was getting better, and her dad didn't think the situation was serious. More throwing up and bowel movements were noted over
God.
time.
So her dog was
Thinking of surprising
poisoned?
the dog to the vet, she posted a video asking for donations.
Hey, Jane,
Shortly
what's up?
after announced the dog was being put down. It remained up for some time after the dog had already been euthanized. Kaye had said her dad's girlfriend had given the dog dewormer multiple times and that the ultimate cause of the demise was a chicken bone stuck in his GI tract. And then she was questioned about this in a live stream.
He was put down, and your post asking for donations for him was kept up for a long time.
Oh,
So what happened to those donations after he was already put down?
after he was put down?
Yeah, and you kept getting donations because the post stayed down.
I think that's just in my savings now. I hope y'all know that I wasn't donated that money before. I wasn't donated that money before he was put down. I was donated that
I
money.
also donated money before because you had that post up before and after.
You said people donated after.
Both.
A lot of the donations were, I posted an update after he was put down because I couldn't afford the thousands and thousands of dollars it was going to cost to save his life. Because it would have cost thousands of dollars to save his life.
You had $3,000 at the time, though.
I did, and it would have costed more than that because it was $1,000 a night at the vet.
And then you also got donations and continued to get them after he was put down because you didn't tell them until way later that he was put down.
I told them the day. I told them right whenever he was being put down. I posted it the same day.
I remember you posting it.
I posted it the same day. I posted it minutes after. I was saying that I didn't know what to do. I wasn't like there and I was like, oh my God, donate to me. I was saying I don't know what to do or how I'm going to be able to afford it. From my memory, I wasn't asking for donations. This is all I have left. And what happened was...
Not update TikTok.
What?
You did not update TikTok.
Yeah.
She basically poisoned her dog, yeah.
But you did still
She
have the
did.
donation post.
Basically.
On TikTok.
She basically poisoned her
You did
dog
not
to get
update on
money.
TikTok.
Alright. Well, yeah, I noticed that I only had 2 posts on my Instagram and 1 on my TikTok. Because I posted 1 to TikTok, and then I posted 1 to Instagram, and then I uploaded it.
I'm glad you're listening with me, Jerry.
Of what?
You updated later, I want to confirm that. You did, but not until way after the dog had been put down.
Yeah.
TikTok
I mean,
specifically.
that day was a really, really hard day, obviously. That day was a day that I spent, like, over 500, a little over 500, 400, 500, just for the euthanasia of Rambo. And, I wouldn't have, what makes me so upset about the situation is the fact that if I waited to take him, because the vet said he could survive another night. If I waited to take him to the vet the next day, and I had those posts up about him, then I could have saved his life. But he's dead now, and it's my fault. So
I wouldn't say it is your fault. People are
Oh,
mad
damn.
about the donation aspect of it, but I would not say it's your fault.
I'm into it too. I ignore it too.
She avoided the question with emotion multiple times, which is even stranger when we read this message from her mother. I took my boy.
His videos are so good. He does so good.
Kaylee still has her post up asking for donations to help the dog too. I don't know what to do. I went over there yesterday with my boys to bury a dog. Kaylee asked that I be cordial, so I didn't even make eye contact with the blanker or address him in any way. But I get there, Kaylee's guitar had come in, and Dad and Kaylee are singing songs. I'm trying to hold back tears. She rushes to ask me if I'm crying, almost excitedly. I tell her I'm fine because I don't want to break down. Her brothers feel the same, and she rushes to ask them if they're fine. I don't know, it's just not making sense. It seemed like it was more of a party. I understand people grieve different. He was still warm when I touched him. I couldn't stay. She did say she had received more than enough money to cover the $1,000 surgery, but the doctor said he likely won't survive because of his emaciated state. I don't know why she's still receiving money. User said, dang, was Preston in the house with her dad? I'm going to share this to Reddit if that's alright about the 1,000. And besides the mother exposing the daughter, this was just revealed a couple days ago. Blanketed, of course, with
Crazy.
avoidance of accountability and excuses that it was somebody else's fault. Titled, she just deleted this.
I'm gonna come forward about, but I'll go ahead and say it now that the money that y'all raised for Rambo after Rambo died, because he needed that surgery, y'all raised around $8,000, and he spent $6,000 of that on a brand new laptop for himself.
One user saying, oh, so she's finally saying where all the money for Rambo went. Suddenly now she needs someone else to blame for her BS. Why couldn't she just admit this before? She had no problem detailing that he was hurting her, stealing her money, etc. Why cover up and lie about him supposedly taking the surgery money for a laptop? Why continue to beg people to donate when all the money is just being funneled directly into his lap? Another, she really can't take accountability for anything. Just so we're clear, not a single dollar went to that dog. All the donations that you gave, none of them went to the dog. It went to the almighty dollar, okay? Now that we've got that cleared up, let's talk about the house burning down. Before we talk about that, if you're
Oh my god, the house burned down.
What we do here on the channel, consider subscribing, smashing that subscribe button, the like button, and commenting.
Holy hell. This girl goes through it all. What up, Dark?
It helps push out the video, thanks.
Hey, motherfuckers, come to clean my house. Just kidding. Anyway, we just lost absolutely everything, including the life of a bearded dragon because the ceiling was collapsing and nobody had time to save her. That was her enclosure. This was my childhood home. This leaves my father with no clothes. All of my brother's belongings have been destroyed. All of my family's belongings have been destroyed, and the fire department says nothing is salvageable. I've created a GoFundMe for my family. Lucky for me, I was in a hotel, so I had enough clothes to last me about a week. But I lost all my shoes. This is all I have. I'm not complaining because they lost everything. I was gonna move out, and I had all of my stuff that I was moving out with in a storage room, brand new, bought by you guys from an Amazon wish list. I can no longer have an Amazon wish list because I do not have an address anymore, because this house is burned down. That's my bedroom. I just wanted to make this video to spread awareness that I have created a GoFundMe because my family is left without a house, without clothing, without shoes. They're left with nothing. And I'm the luckiest person here because I was left with a little bit of something.
The house is still burning down.
Personal hygiene things. But
The house is still burning down.
If anybody is willing and has anything extra, the GoFundMe is linked in my link tree.
Yeah, we're listening to this video together,
You're
Dark
not obligated
Whispers.
to do anything. You do not have to do anything. But it would be greatly appreciated by everybody if they just had a fucking place to sleep. Nobody has a bed. We have no furniture. We don't have a house. We don't have clothes. We have nothing. So thank you if you're willing. And if you can't, it also helps to just, watch the video.
Okay, so there's some nuance here. It's absolutely 100% tragic that something like this would happen to leave these people homeless. My heart goes out to them. But at the same time, you can empathetically feel bad about it, but at the same time, not trust the GoFundMe. I feel like this is axiomatic. This was the GoFundMe here, healing hearts and lives after losing our family home. 60,000, over 60,000 was ultimately raised. Now, apparently the money was said to have been going straight to the father. Obviously, there was no evidence of this, but plenty of evidence that Preston's bank accounts were linked to all of her accounts. And even in this fundraiser, it said Kylie Watkins is organizing this fundraiser. So this is a leaked message from Preston, and honestly, we got to put two and two together when Preston and the mother and everybody's just leaking things. It makes you got to think like, well, is this all for content? But anyways, this is what the email said. Dear Kaylee, we're sending you a message to tell you that after further review, your GoFundMe fundraiser was removed because it violates our terms of service, which you can view here. Specifically, the content of your fundraiser falls under our prohibited conduct section, term 2, fundraisers that are fraudulent, misleading, inaccurate, dishonest, or impossible. Our terms of service, along with strictly enforced policies from the payment industry, prohibit GoFundMe from allowing your fundraiser to continue raising money on our platform. Any donations made to your fundraiser that have not already been transferred to the bank account, that's important, on file have been refunded. Those funds will arrive back to the donor's bank accounts within 3 to 7 days. If you feel like you've received this message in error, please respond to this email, and a member of the Trust and Safety team will assist you. Thank you for understanding. And here
Whose
are
voice
some
is
receipts of some
crackling?
of the
Nobody's.
refunds. Again, over 60,000 were raised.
It's
There's
this.
no way to
We're
know how
watching
much
this
was
video
withdrawn to
together.
the bank account. All we know is that it likely didn't go to the father. And there were multiple people in the comments saying that they hadn't got a refund or they were still waiting on a refund. And then Kaylee made this comment. Everybody has been refunded from the GoFundMe for the house fire, so we kind of have to build off of nothing. I have followers helping me stay in an Airbnb while I don't have a vehicle and I'm still stranded in town with no family. Hearing everyone was refunded did make me kind of sad today, though, because my father still has no idea that he won't be getting a new home, although he thought he would with the money raised. The user saying, did anyone else see this on her new IG Reels post in her comments? Is this true? Is she capping again? Like, what is with the guilt trip? He thought he would be getting a new home with the money raised? Well, yeah.
You what?
He could have if you and Preston didn't scam everyone. So users were very quick to call Kaylee out. One user saying, has anyone reported Kaylee to the police for stealing $60,000 yet? Another saying, she alleges it was all refunded, yet the donors have never received a refund. And guess what? When confronted on a live stream, she, again, knew nothing about it.
People say that you guys have ran with the $60,000.
Wow.
His account.
That's what some people think, yeah.
Alright, well, listen to me. I never, and never will, ever look at this man's phone. Ever. Because I don't trust him. I don't trust a man, and I'm not about to get my heart broke. But, I can't, there's nothing I can tell you about his bank account. I know nothing about it. I know nothing.
So wait a minute, what you're saying is that you don't trust him at all, even though he has access to your money, that you can, take your card off those accounts. It is very easy to do so. But I digress. You don't trust him. And that's why you're not looking to see if there's potential scams or stealing going on. Okay.
It did go to his account. He never told me. And I don't know about that. If it did go to his account, then that would be extremely up. I disagree, or I highly doubt it did. I don't think it did. But if it did, then I don't know about it. I count, and I got proof of that. But I also have his bank statements. If he comes back here, I have his bank statements. So
here's the thing: is this has happened multiple times. The second she found out, she should have put a stop to it. She didn't, so she's complicit. She's benefiting, she's complicit. The end result is that you and other people get hurt. She's the common link. So this is a 40-minute read that starts off with, I did not scam you. I did already read this. I'm not going to read the whole thing in this video, but you can go check out the link if you want to. I'm going to give you the summary of it and the most important parts. She states that before the fire, she was at a Super 8 motel with her boyfriend, and she had come visit during holidays and never left, and saying we were there not because we were estranged from my father's home, but because we didn't want to take up extra space. She says, I wasn't home when the fire started. It was around 11 p.m. when my mother called. I was asleep. Her voice broke through the silence with words I'll never forget. I didn't react first, just shock. The first thing I asked was, is everyone alive? She said yes, everyone except the lizard. About the GoFundMe, when I learned my father had no insurance on the house due to legal complications, I created the GoFundMe not for me, but for him, and for everyone who lost something in that house. I never expected it to reach its goal in such a short amount of time, but as it gained attention, so did the speculation. People mass reported it for being fraudulent. Without ever asking for the truth, this triggered an internal review by GoFundMe's risk team. She admits that she misspoke, saying, I was grieving, I was manic, I went live on TikTok in the middle of it all, I misspoke. I made things worse. For that, I'm truly sorry. And she also says specifically about the money. She states that GoFundMe reached out to her father directly to confirm that he was indeed the recipient. Emails were exchanged between him and their risk team to verify details, discuss the transfer plan, and determine how the funds would be handled. They gathered information from the fire department, they did bank statements, they did any type of coordination that they needed to give evidence that what happened so that they could get the funds, and finally, they did in fact get the funds. She ends it off by saying donations for this fundraiser will remain disabled indefinitely. If anyone still wishes to help, you're welcome to do so freely and directly, either through my father's Cash App or through the options listed on my link tree. So was it a scam? Well, I don't think there's any clear evidence that says that this specifically is a scam. Although, I wonder what would have happened if GoFundMe hadn't forced her to give them her dad's bank information. But I guess we'll never know, and good that the money went to the father. Hopefully they got them a down payment on a house or something that helped their life situation. That being said, it appears that one anecdotal account claiming to be the older brother said, I'm someone that knows her well and stayed in the house with her. I was on and off about staying there. My dad wasn't in a good place mentally, and the house wasn't taken care of like it was supposed to. But I don't blame him. He didn't have coverage on the house, and he fell into a deep depression for a few years. I remember Kaye deliberately creating a mess and posting it like she was cleaning up someone else's mess. Her mentality is sickening and is based on her being a victim and making my whole family look bad, and I'm sick of it. He says I grew up with her, and her whole life she's sharing on social media is either a lie or blown way out of proportion. Her tics didn't start until she was around 15 to 16, and I believe it's all for attention. These are the tics that are in question.
Bet you didn't see. I don't even. Sorry. Yeah, you wish. I do not need to have a tic attack. Tic attack in a hall. He's trying to trigger make it. He's trying to trigger.
What the fuck?
Every negative thing that anybody else says about him.
Exactly, Jerry. That's what I was about to say. She has his bank statements, though.
That's how it works.
That is facts. Sorry, I'm trying.
One user saying, please don't tell me she added a meow to the tics now, laughing face emoji. Another saying, I've seen her do this multiple times in some lives and literally no tics on all the others. Shaking my head, I hate disability fakers, throwing up emoji. Another, this was the only time during that live I saw her tick. Me too, I've watched countless lives. I've watched her be more stressed than this. Never once saw a tick. She only ticks when someone mentions it. Another saying, yes, she's definitely faking the Tourette's, which is just absolutely horrible to do. Of all things, she'll regret later in life this will be the main one. This will haunt. I don't think that's going to be the main one. The brother goes on to say, I would like to address that Kaye wasn't there when the fire happened, so she wouldn't know what took place. It was an electrical fire that started in the attic, and that said yesterday was BS. Like she was speculating that her dad's dog that passed away before the fire took place might have played a part in the fire happening, but she wasn't there, and it kind of sucks that she talks like she was there. And her wanting to play the hero with the reputation she's already built on social media trying to make my family look like scum is a sad, pathetic behavior coming from her. Her victim main character syndrome is the whole reason she has a reputation, and it's built on lies and claims that are blown way out of proportion. I wish the best for her, but this is sickening. By the way, I'm the oldest brother. I don't care anymore at this point, so you know who I am. Honestly, for us big brothers, I feel like it's best just to stay quiet and let this crap show go on because it's out of our control, dog. No point in putting a strain on yourself over someone that can't see the wrong in their own actions. She has a mental disorder that she basically goes against everyone that has some type of authority over her. and will make that said person look like a monster until she gets what she wants. It was bad throughout the childhood, but now it's on a whole different level of bad, dude. It's best for everyone to just give her a mass unfollowing and stop giving her attention because she doesn't deserve the pity or sympathy. She milks it. Last night, she made a headline on her TikTok saying, "Send the galaxy so I can confess to the internet lies." Like, how the F do you think this is going to pan out for you? And I believe she's on medication that the doctor prescribes her, but she also drinks and goes live, so that might be what you're seeing from her. And despite all the GoFundMes, she still e-begs for Uber rides, medications, hotels, food, and lots of other things. Here's her asking for Uber here. Have to get an emergency hotel. 26 to my name type beat. Anybody got a clue what places will let me stay one night with that much? Could someone help me get some bath products? I don't have shampoo or deodorant. Sorry about this. I hate doing this. Renting has just left me with nothing. Y'all are all appreciated. I'm sorry. And here's her continuing to ask for money. Saying sacrificing meals just to stay housed is insane. Blank this S word. 50 copay to see my doctor about my blood sugar dropping to 60 today, and I can't afford that. Hate to do this again, but can somebody help me get a glucose monitor because of my fainting and my blood sugar? Help me afford my medication. I'm tired of ending up in the hospital. I had 45 cents after paying rent. Of course you're not obligated, just need help now more than ever. Can somebody help me get groceries so I don't have to eat fast food? Nobody has to, but I physically am repulsed by fast food and I haven't been able to eat right in days. It's bad. So if anyone can help me get groceries, I would really appreciate that. Can anybody help me get some food, LMAO? JK, unless. And she was called out about this in a live stream, and she had the weirdest response.
Do you know what dry begging is? Have you ever heard of that term?
I've heard of people saying that I'm doing that, and I never fucking understood how I was doing that or what the fuck it means. No.
Okay, I'm going to tell you what dry begging is then, because you are a dry beggar, and that is exactly what you do. Okay? Dry begging is when you go on to a social media platform like TikTok, like what we're doing right now, and you say things like, I don't know where I'm going to live next. I don't know how I'm going to afford my rent money. I don't know where I'm going to get my next meal, but don't worry, guys. It'll be okay. Also, here's my Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal. But you don't have to donate to me. But I'm very worried about how my future's going to be. Dry begging is telling people you're in a precarious situation without explicitly asking them for donations. And that's one thing that really led to me not liking the content that you produce, and what led to a loss of support from me was your consistent insistence on being somebody who doesn't ask for donations, who doesn't beg, but within the same breath, you talk about how you don't know where you're going to live, you don't know what you're going to do next, and that you have absolutely no help and no resources, and also link where people can donate to you. Okay? You're a dry beggar, Callie. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing right now by talking about how you're going to be kicked out of this rental.
No, I am not begging by doing that. I can afford something else. I am not asking anybody for anything. I can afford something else. I'm making money. I can afford something else. That was not dry begging. Me making the statement that I am going to be kicked out of here because I screamed is not dry begging. I will tell you that one.
She didn't know why. She didn't know she was asking for money. Come on, guys.
Begging. Me making the statement that I am going to be kicked out of here because
Hi, Redneck. What's up?
It's not dry begging. I will tell you that one. If that makes people donate to me, I don't know why it does, but okay. And I can say, yeah, I guess I have dry begged. I have said things that were true. They were true. That I wasn't gonna have anything to eat. There's like I wasn't gonna have a place to stay, and I've definitely done it. Yeah, I've definitely done it. I've done it, not knowing that I was basically doing it.
One user says, I can afford something else. Okay, girl, then please never ask for donations again. And you heard her say that. She's got plenty of money, and it turns out that she does have thousands and thousands of dollars, as you'll see. She benefits from donations, promotes fundraisers, and drops hardship stories on public platforms with donation links nearby. And pretending not to know why somebody would donate after hearing these things is insulting to everyone's intelligence. But she did end up getting a job.
Never mind the cleaning business. I just got a job to work for Airbnb because of my last video.
She started uploading videos saying, come with me to work. Hashtag for you page. Hashtag for you. viral.
Sorry for all the commotion. I could only record so much while I was on the clock, but I did just want to let my followers know that I do now have a job. It is a cleaning job. I am cleaning apartments. I mopped walls today, y'all. They gave me sneakers since mine burned in the fire, and I'm making money. I worked for 5 hours today, and I'm really proud of myself because I only had one panic attack. I've been offered a lot of opportunities today, and I'm considering taking them. I'm really tired, and I work again tomorrow. Today was a really huge day for me, but I'm also very excited to say that I am employed. So it's all you mean motherfuckers telling me to get a job. I did. This was my focus space. I was working on a bunch of stairwells in these apartments.
What's up, Timothy?
Some of them. I worked in about like 4 apartments today. Absolutely love my coworkers. They are nice. A lot of tough love, but I love them to death. They are amazing. For those of you who think I am in a bad situation, just some of my coworkers also really care about me. I'm very happy to be getting socialization after not being able to have that for a very long time. I could have really used a steam cleaner here. I really only recorded the first room that I did, well, the first apartment. I cannot wait for tomorrow. I had a lot of conversations today, and I'm very, very happy that I was able to...
Who's still in here? It says there's one person in
And I
here.
still cannot get over how grateful I am. They supplied me tennis shoes after mine burned in the fire. They also fed me, so I'm extremely happy about that as well. It can only get better from here. But yeah, so far on my first day, I really love my job. So thank you all so much for coming along with me. Thank you for watching this video. It helps a lot with the extra. Sorry to everybody that I've disappointed. I promise to make you proud. I fucking promise to make you proud. Here's a little before and after. I think I did amazing with that. Here I'm just scrubbing the floor. I didn't do much, but I just wanted to prove to y'all that I do have a job now.
Jerry, hell yeah, Jerry.
Share that with my followers. And it's a cleaning job. Thank you so much.
Not only was she employed, but her boss and coworkers were helping her out a lot. She goes to saying, let's try on clothes I got from my boss because she's moving out and I recently lost a lot in a house fire. Additionally, the coworkers helped her open her own bank account, which is significant.
But I did open a new bank account today. With my coworker who's trying to save me.
So everything seemed to be pivoting in a good direction. But it didn't last, as the boss posted this. A user named Beth says, Dear Lord, I'm her boss. I've offered her her own effing apartment. I told her I would furnish it and everything. Matter of fact, about 6 hours after this video, she Ubered to my office and I took her to an Airbnb. She said she was tired, so I left her to sleep, and when I came back to check on her later, she was gone with him being Preston. Her location was off, and when I left, he knew nothing about this Airbnb, so she clearly, purposely turned her location back on and left with him willingly. Yes, she's in a bad situation. Yes, he's not a great person, physically, mentally, and verbally, all the above. He belongs in the trash can somewhere. But she's also using her situation to get y'all's money. Trust me, she's got plenty in the bank. She could go wherever the F she wanted. One user says, that's exactly what we thought. Thank you for confirming. Boss responds, the fact that she left with him, we'd have no reason to feel sorry for her anymore, and the cash flow would stop. She's made over $60K in donations. I don't know if that's $60K in addition to the $60K from the house fire. Unsure. Probably. It's probably within the realm of possibility. So she was up in the air, disappeared, no one knew where she was. Well, she surfaced again at a hotel with Preston, and an incident occurred.
Nothing physically. What's going on? I just got locked out of my own room. And I can't get the keys to the car to sit down and be alone. But it's alright. He set an alarm. So he's going to bed, so I guess I'm sleeping in the hall.
So she's out in the hallway live, talking about how she's afraid of Preston and she's lost access to her accounts.
I did lose access to the account, and then I regained access to the account after I abided by every rule that I had to follow in order to regain access to it.
She had to abide by every rule? That does not sound good. Eventually, hotel staff approached her and...
To be with anybody that's going to mistreat you, because I promise you, when you get older and you get to be my age, you're going to look back and you wish you hadn't wasted one day on somebody that's not going to be good to you, okay?
That hurt a lot.
I know it's hard because I've been through it, but...
I'm cool with it. I gotta do it.
You have to.
I know. Everybody's telling me.
You have to. There's too many people in this world that would be good to you. And anybody that hits on you, they don't love you, baby. And it won't change. Because it's a part of who they are.
I know. It's hard because, it's that I need to get over. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna get over it.
You just need to look at yourself every day in the mirror and say that you love yourself, and that's not worth it.
Yeah, I can't keep fighting for nothing out, but I have to stay here because I don't want him homeless. Dad's in the hospital now, and I can't stay with him.
They eventually give her a key so she regains access to the room again, and she tells Preston that the live is muted so he wouldn't be able to be heard, which is a lie, and then we hear Preston when he thinks no one can hear him.
I'm gonna change it to more for a little bit. Yes, hang on, let me mute. Let me mute. Look. You want what?
What'd you go in there and do?
What do you mean, what did I come here and do? I came here and where's your key? Your room key?
Why'd you go in here and get the wallet?
Because I was gonna go talk to Sheila.
Why?
Because I wanted to talk to her.
About what?
I just wanted to talk to her.
What'd you talk to her about?
She's too busy.
What'd you talk
He thinks she's too busy.
Callie, what did you talk to her about?
Nothing. I didn't talk to her about anything. She's too busy. Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Then I'm just gonna talk to her.
About what?
Relationship advice.
No, you're not gonna talk to her about shit.
Okay.
So he's being controlling for certain, both mentally and emotionally.
Yikes. What's up, Jerry?
Sorry.
What'd you say a lot?
I haven't said anything bad on the line.
What's wrong with you?
I'm sorry.
Shut up, what the fuck about you?
What?
That shit lit up the fuck about you, right? Is it you?
Yes.
What's wrong with you? Why are you all alive right now? Why not sleep?
Well, I'm not going to sleep. I got work in the morning.
Okay, but that can go alive and lay down. Sleep.
I'm not sleeping because if I'm sleeping, I'm just going to be more tired.
Okay, well, how you work in the morning, so.
I have work in the next few hours.
Okay, well, you don't know that.
I'm waiting for Beth to reply to me and let me know when I work.
Okay, well, Callie, you should work up to 12, so you should get some rest until then.
I'm not resting. I'm not
You're gonna have
tired.
fun being tired at work.
I'll have fun being tired at work. At least I'll sleep good tomorrow. Tonight.
Yeah, okay.
I will.
Fucking try to talk to Sheila for it.
I just wanted to talk to her because she's being nice to me.
Okay, cool. Why are you in the lobby?
I was in the lobby because I got locked out of the room because you wouldn't give me the keys.
Okay, well, I don't need you out of the room, but
Oh,
you got your own key, right?
no, I don't.
How'd you get back in the room?
She had to get me back in the room.
Okay, then you get your own key, right? I don't know. The problem is,
I should have got my own key.
well, you have one. We have multiple keys. You should keep up with yours.
I just don't get it.
What do you mean you don't get it?
I just don't get it.
You don't get what?
I don't get it. How you can be so mean?
How? No, come here. How am I being mean?
You're just constant.
Kelly, I'm not being mean. I'm just telling you, I don't want you in the car.
You don't want me in the car.
No,
Why?
because you have a room in here and you can just...
Interestingly enough, you hear him say that he doesn't want her to go sit in the car that he didn't really buy it. Other people bought it. A way of scamming.
No, I just don't want to be around people.
Kelly, you are going to be around people. I don't need you running the car gas down.
I won't even have the car cranked. I just want the light.
Okay, well, bro, you don't need the light that you fucking have. You have to have the car on if you're going to have the light on.
Whatever. I'm
Kelly,
just
no,
continuing my life.
you're not gonna talk to me.
I'm just gonna continue my life.
You're not gonna talk to me.
Then you come here. You come here.
I am laying in the fucking bed because I've been up.
You've been up for what, 5 hours?
No, I've been up ever since fucking, I don't know, 6 p.m. It's almost like 12 hours.
Alright, so
It's fucking bedtime. I need to sleep.
it's bedtime for you. Go to bed.
Okay, well, hey, you're fucking not okay right now. And you know,
I am not unstable. I am fine right now. I didn't do anything online.
Is there anything about me?
No. No, I'm not unmuted. I'm staying freaking muted.
Are you sure you didn't do anything?
What do you mean?
Don't lie to me.
Don't lie to you how?
Don't lie to me.
Don't lie to you about what?
But it's what I mean. You can do whatever you want. That's what you say.
I didn't say anything.
No,
I just said that I was in the hallway, that I couldn't come back in the room because you didn't give me the key. You took the wallet out of my hands.
Stop talking about me. I'm done with that shit. Keep my depression about that. I'm done. I didn't give you that shit because I don't want you in the car. You should have taken the keys if you wanted to take the keys.
I tried. You took them away from me.
I took the key. I took the car keys. Not the room key.
Dude.
Not the room key, Callie. I did not tell you that you couldn't fucking get back in the room. So stop making this shit look like I'm not letting you in the fucking room.
Well, I'm sorry for making it look like that. I didn't mean
He sounds gay as fuck. This guy. He sounds fruity. He's like.
I took the car keys. So you couldn't go to the fucking car right now.
I just wanted to sit in the car and be alone.
Straight controlling. This poor girl, she's been through so much, but she's also super controlling herself, so.
That's why you should let me go to the car.
I don't know.
You don't want anybody in the car.
He does. He sounds gay as fuck. It's almost like she, like, planned this, like, and had, like, a gay friend do this for her to pretend to be him or some shit.
So obviously this was a live stream and everybody was very concerned.
I don't know. Just something feels weird about it. I don't feel like that was him.
And honestly, I really can't see it any other way than, and just based on all the past experience of this person, what we went through thus far, I don't see it any other way than they're doing these live streams on purpose for attention.
Yeah.
Trying to farm for sympathy, clicks, and views. Seeking out difficulties. It's hard to see what is real and what is not.
Oh my god. I wonder what that could be. I'm gonna stay on live the whole time. What? Uh-oh. I don't know. Should I mute? I don't know. Hi. Hi. Come here. Come out here. Just me? Mm-hmm. Okay. Huh? Somebody just told me that you were streaming, and it's streaming live. Yeah. I needed to get out of there. Oh, no. I don't need to get out of here at the moment. Okay, so we're going to have to do something about this because people are calling the front desk repeatedly. Yeah, I know. You're okay.
And you can see she's not shocked about this.
Are you streaming live talking about you need help and repeatedly? I don't think. I know a lot of people are concerned for me. I have plans on leaving when he sleeps. I have a place to go. I have to Uber myself there. It's my car. Get all my stuff and, get out. If you need to get your stuff right now, we can get your stuff and you can come up front until you do whatever. I just don't think I can do that today because I can't stay with them today. I have to wait until I have to talk to my boss about it. Because she wouldn't be expecting that. She'd be like, what? I don't know what to do. And I'm like, oof. Okay, so do you need out of there now? He's not harmed me. I don't need out of there at this moment.
Sounds like they were offering to help and she declined. So she goes back into the room with Preston, which prompts another barrage.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
With you anymore.
We're not doing this shit. I'm sorry.
You're listening to me when I tell you I'm home.
We'll get better. Sir, just shut the fuck up. Sir. I'm trying to get there.
You don't love me.
I do love you. I would love you if you would actually get off.
Wait, he said, I love you.
You told me last night.
I do love you.
You never loved me. But you hated me.
I don't hate you.
And you despise me. And you don't know what you ever saw in me.
Yeah, it was a room check. Somebody called the front desk saying that she was on live stream and needed out.
See when his paranoia kicks in.
Now, if the police show up, I don't know what the fuck we're gonna do, but you're gonna jump from them.
Well, I guess just prepare yourself.
I'm not bad shit, bro. Because I don't know why the fuck they're calling for no goddamn reason.
Well,
What are you gonna do? Huh?
what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm good. Like always.
Bro, you know nothing's fucking happening and we're just laying down and you're online being silent and weird. That's why they call up.
I'm being silent and weird.
Bro, you're literally on a live with a black screen and people are going to speculate anything and they're gonna call the fucking police. If they're calling this hotel, they're gonna call, someone's calling the police right now.
She responds to a viewer in the chat about a previous post that alluded to harm, and she said it was just a general statement.
Okay. What was the post about? Oh, it wasn't about it. You know, it's about A in every form. Financial. Special. Thank you for the gift. Abuse in every way, but I'm safe right now, so and by the way, I never scammed anyone. Why did you delete that post? So I didn't get my ass whooped. What do you mean? Got my ass whooped. Last night.
And of course, she's in the room with Preston, so he overhears and then begins a line of questioning.
No. But we're talking about what? I said, you know how easy it would be to throw me at the wall because of how much I weighed. I'm not talking about you, bro. I'm not talking about you, bro. Yeah, right now I'm gonna. What?
She's stupid as fuck if she sits there.
Eventually, the police were called and there were DV
Oh, fuck it,
claims.
might
She
as
goes
well,
to
might
this
as well,
stitches lady
Jerry.
with a piece of mozzarella stick, and there's like some stitches right here on her hand. Eventually, she goes live from the hospital and talks about the situation.
I'm in the ER, getting x-rays and brain scans done because of injuries done to my head and my hands and my body lately. So, police get involved. Right now. The police just left, they'll come back.
Eventually, a police officer enters the room and they engage in a dialogue where Kaylee says that she's not going to press charges on Preston.
Ask him if I can leave him with you, okay?
I mean, I can't drive, but I still think I have to get myself out the car. What's happened? Do we know what's happening to him?
He's going to go to jail for domestic, okay, for simple assault with you. And he's going to talk to the judge. I feel like you may need, which I would say something. It's up to you.
I need psychiatry and all this
Maybe sometimes psychiatry is what you need, but sometimes just to have somebody to sit down and talk to and get things off your chest is an easy way to navigate and figure things out a lot easier than what you apparently been having to do, okay? Now I've got to ask you this, all right? It doesn't change what we do, okay? As the state of Tennessee is going to press charges regardless, but I have to ask if you are going to press charges yourself.
I'm not.
You're not going to?
No, sir.
Okay, you're just not willing to do that?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
For everything.
It says, I am a victim of domestic violence and affirm that this information is correct. Let's see where that is at. What's the instruction?
Damn. I'm gonna get high, Jerry. Let's get high.
Okay, because knows what you said.
So at this point, it's very obvious that the relationship is toxic and that Preston has some issues of his own. And apparently they are broken up, but there's contradicting information at this time. Kaylee's saying things that don't point to that being the reality. One Reddit post saying car sounds from the live, and what you're going to hear is the sound of the car and then compared with the sound from her phone. One user saying, right, can someone help me out here? I'm not disputing the sound is there. Of course we can all hear it, but how? Is the background fake? Is the car in the room with us? Is she on the phone with him in the car and that's what's blasting out? Please help. Another user says, he must have pulled up outside in the car. So when you're close to it, your phone connects to the Bluetooth. to make hands-free calls or listen to music. Basically, her mic on her phone switched to the car mic, and that's why we can hear car sounds. He was pulling up and parking. Thanks so much. So this next part talks about SA and can be really difficult for people who have pasts with this to hear. Even if you don't have a past with it, it's difficult to hear. So I'm giving you a warning now.
Yeah, there's your warning, y'all.
Before we go further, I do want to say I really appreciate you for sticking with the video so far. And if you want to see more videos like this and updates on this specific topic, then be sure to smash that subscribe button and slap a like on the video. You can comment, Rip Squad, Best Squad.
I was robbed and raped in Memphis, Tennessee last night 3 times by a 50-year-old man. He was homeless, and although I don't have any money except for money for rent, or I did, I was taking money out of my spent 80 on the hotel and the rest on drugs that he tried to force me to do. This happened orally, you know where, and the behind. And I will tell you, I've never been through anything more painful. A police report was done.
Wait,
Grave
what?
kit was done. You know what it is inside of me, in my bed.
Wait, I am...
No, sir.
Okay, you're just not.
Hold on, what the fuck? We went from her in the hospital from being beaten by her mans to her saying she was essayed and forced to do drugs by a guy. What the fuck? A 50-year-old man and she's 18. What the fuck is going on? This girl has everything happen to her. This girl has everything happen to her. I thought everything happened to me. Okay?
So at this point, it's very obvious that the relationship is toxic. And
Sorry, my eye itches. I'll fix the makeup.
And apparently
Don't worry.
They are broken up. But there's
What the
contradicting
fuck,
information
dog?
At this time, Kaylee's saying things that don't point to that being the reality. One Reddit post saying car sounds from the live, and what you're going to hear is the sound of the car, and then compared with the sound from her phone. One user saying, right, can someone help me out here? I'm not disputing the sound is there. Of course, we can all hear it. But how? Is the background fake? Is the car in the room with us? Is she on the phone with him in the car and that's what's blasting out? Please help. Another user says, he must have pulled up outside in the car. So when you're close to it, your phone connects to the Bluetooth to make hands-free calls or listen to music. Basically, her mic on her phone switched to the car mic, and that's why we can hear car sounds. He was pulling up and parking. Thanks so much. So this next part talks about SA and can be really difficult for people who have pasts with this to hear. Even if you don't have a past with it, it's difficult to hear. So I'm
Right.
now. And that being said, before we go further, I do want to say I really appreciate you for sticking with the video so far. And if you want to see more videos like this and updates on this specific topic,
Yeah, that's
be
better.
sure to smash that subscribe button and
Is this over?
slap a like
No.
on the
Oh god, I
video.
forgot. We gotta
Comment,
talk about
Rip Squad,
the...
Best Squad.
I was robbed and raped in Memphis, Tennessee last night 3 times by a 50-year-old man.
3
He was
times.
homeless, and although I don't have any money except for money for rent, or I did, I was taking money out of my savings to get him a hotel just for 2 nights. Because I wanted to help him. He spent 80 on the hotel and the rest on drugs that he tried to force me to do. This happened orally, you know where, and the behind. And I will tell you, I've never been through anything more painful. A police report was done. A grave kit was done. You know what it is inside of me. And my bank card has been disabled and I lost all my money. Therefore, I cannot pay rent in the next few days. All because I wanted to help a homeless man. I have damage to my cervix and bruises all over my body. And I don't want to be that bitch, but I really think that I need to make another GoFundMe. So I can afford rent, so that I can get my cat food, so that I can fucking eat. My boyfriend showed up after a failed ATM transaction because he had locked my card right before I got disabled. And I stayed at that ATM for 15 minutes hoping he would find my location, and he did. He showed up, and he called the police. And I love him more than anything because I think he saved my life. But please be careful around Memphis. Never walk alone. Never walk alone at night. And don't fucking talk to strangers.
So obviously there was a lot of people that didn't believe her, and that's unfortunate, especially because there seems to always be a GoFundMe of some sort attached to whatever scam she is making. So in response to somebody saying, I hate to say this, but I don't believe you, she says, makes me effing sick. And that's difficult because they obviously have reason because of so many times Wolf had been cried in the past. And it is unfortunate because this is a serious thing that happened. And if it did happen, then my heart goes out to you. But you've got to understand why people are hesitant to give you money. She posted this document here. Notice the MRN number that some viewers would still question at one posting.
Hi everyone. People have noticed that Callie's MRN number is not a valid MRN number, and this is what she has to say about it. She says that she doesn't even know what an MRN number is. This shows that she's not even taking the paperwork she's showing us seriously because it's all wrong filled out.
I did a little bit of research on the MRN numbers, and yes, it can be legitimate, especially in smaller local facilities or specialty clinics like the Shelby County Crime Crisis Center. Regional clinics are centers where fewer patients than large hospitals. Some systems do use short MRNs if their internal patient count is low. It's a specialty or standalone system. Forms do match the standard service documentation used by Tennessee crisis centers. As stated earlier, while most hospitals use 6 to 10 digits, smaller agencies or standalone centers must assign 3-digit internal IDs. The conclusion is nothing in these images seems fake. The 3-digit MRN, while unusual, is plausible given the type of facility. And if anybody wanted to, they can contact the Shelby County Crime and Crisis Center directly with the date, the encounter MRN number, and the patient initials to verify visit authenticity. And I'm sure one of you out there is going to do that, so let me know in the comment section what the verdict is.
Pop, yeah. I know Pop will stay and listen too.
You can find on Reddit or TikTok.
Damn, Pop, you've missed a lot, homie. So, she didn't lie. The paperwork was real, Jerry. She didn't lie.
But you had a choice to go with him and had a choice to drink the drink. You did both of those things. Not hate, just confused about the holes in the story. So we're going to focus on the holes in the story while also mentioning that it doesn't matter if somebody made bad choices. If somebody chose to SA them, then that's a terrible thing that happened to them. I hope you could distinguish the nuance between that. Bad choices don't make it valid for somebody to be SA'd. Okay?
That's whenever I realized I forgot my wallet. That I didn't have any money on me. Or my ID on me. Nothing. And as you know, my phone is not working. It's not turning on.
This person says, I thought you said you didn't have your wallet on you. How did you pay for the hotel? And then she said, I didn't have my wallet, but I found my bank card in my purse. Let's go back to what she said.
That I didn't have any money on me. Or my ID on me. Nothing.
So that is a contradiction.
Unless I just left because I got mad at my boyfriend. He immediately started trying to get me to go somewhere with him. And me having nothing to do, being angry at my boyfriend, I'm like, ooh, whatever. So I made the dumb decision to go with him where he was working and they're giving me alcohol. I look away from my drink for a second and I'm talking to this lady. Look away and in the corner of my eye it looked like he dropped something in my drink. But I wasn't sure and I wasn't gonna, accuse. I drank it anyway. I don't know, drags make people weird. Anyway, since he was homeless, I figured I was going to just buy him a hotel and leave, walk myself back home. So I withdrew $200 from the ATM to get him a hotel.
You also said you had no money.
I have $2 in my bank account and I really need a drink, but they all cost $3, so now I have to just deal with the hunger pangs rather than drinking them anyway. Any advice on how to get rid of hunger pangs when you can't access food? This is obviously a dry bag, but she again did say she didn't have any money. One user saying you can't get a hotel without an ID. Dang, man, that's tragic. We're going to bounce off this and go into another situation that has high contradictions and doesn't make any sense at a Starbucks. So this says Kaylee nodding off in a Starbucks heavily under the influence, or is she doing it for attention? Probably not. I think it's pretty obvious this person has some issues with medication of some sort, be it illegal or legal. So you can see this lady shaking her to make sure she's okay. She's bent over. It looks like what looks to be nodding out. And I have seen people behave this way in person. It does reflect that. It looks like that, but we can't say for certain. Could be anything. Like this person says she's also on heavy anxiety meds, which can have the same effects. Now let's go over the different contradictions. Saying attempted, so hard just to be bullied online, worse than ever. So this is saying that she attempted to take her life. One person saying, is she trying to frame this as an OD attempt? Why would you attempt in public, in a Starbucks, after buying yourself a drink? Why can't she just admit she's an addict? Then she switched it to her blood sugar, almost made her faint.
I know a lot of y'all have seen that video of me passing out at Starbucks. I was released from the ICU today after being in there for 3 days. At the time this video was recorded, my blood sugar was below 50. I took a bite of my cake pop and immediately fainted. I have zero memory as to what happened afterwards, but as you can see, I'm breathing very heavy. I want to let y'all know that at that time I had a cake pop in my mouth. I was inhaling it, and I was choking on my food. While unconscious, being recorded without my consent, being told that what I was doing was faking it for attention. I didn't wake up until I was in the ICU, not understanding what was going on. And I'll tell you, I mixed a lot of stuff with my medication that night. I took my Seroquel, I took my Paxil. I took propranolol more than I was supposed to. And I drank. My EKG says that I was showing symptoms of a heart attack. I think the faint was from hypoglycemia. They also think it could have been an accidental overdose. I'm really not comfortable with videos of me online like that and being recorded without my consent by a worker who is supposed to be a professional, and I almost lost my life. My BPM dropped into the 50s while I was unconscious and choking, and to almost lose my life like that and be recorded in the process, and being told it was all for attention when I was completely unconscious, that's very disrespectful. I am doing better, and I plan to do better in the future. I'm going to
Wow.
a recovery program because I am suffering with mental health extremely badly. But let's not record people without their consent whenever they're
Yeah, Jerry.
Imagine that was you.
She was like,
Y'all were calling it the fent fold, clean of that. None of that was in my system. Somebody did give me something that day and told me it would calm me down, and I took it. 30 minutes later, that's when that happened. So
You took something from a random stranger. You don't know what was in it, so it could have been the nods. It could have been something crazy like that. One user saying she went from saying it was a failed attempt twice to now saying it was an accidental overdose. She can't keep her story straight. She wants to milk as much sympathy as she can over every mishap in her life without taking accountability. Also, her saying someone gave her something that day to calm down. Kylie, just say you took drugs.
Told me it would calm me down, and I took it.
And her story does change a lot. She also made this post that says everything was so sweet. That was her saying that her blood sugar shot up and it was the cake pop. Then she changed it to, what happened is still a mystery to me. And even the doctors can only theorize what happened to me in Starbucks that day. My system is clean of illegal substances. They theorize I actually overdosed on my psych meds. Everything I've said before was also a theory. I'm still finding out more through the medical records. My blood sugar wasn't the issue that day. I hadn't slept in over 24 hours. My body was incredibly stressed and I took way too much of my medication. It's the only thing I can think of to explain this video. And then she switches it back to hypoglycemia.
I think the faint was from hypoglycemia. They also think it could have been an accidental overdose.
And then she went back to saying it was an attempt. Doctors say I'm lucky to be alive, but I failed again. And then she, of course, called it a heart attack, to which she turned to social media to get money for...
Excuse me, yeah, I will.
Hey motherfuckers, let's unbag some groceries. Because I have decided I'm going on a diet. Because I think I had a heart attack and I'm only 18. So yeah, we need to fix that. I bought those because they have apple cider in them. I can barely reach where I put the sugar, but I just put it where it made sense. I found this sick aloe vera, decided to take it home with me. Because aloe vera is so beneficial. I don't f with Nutty Buddies, but he wanted Nutty Buddies, so he got them. And I'm going to be drinking these Wonder Beet juices. And then the ashwagandha tea and aloe vera drinks. There is a cranberry juice and chobani yogurt.
That's what I need. Ashwagandha tea. My doctor said it would knock my ass out.
She's just throwing in healthy foods just because they're deemed healthy, but I think it's important to say that...
He said since medication doesn't work well for me for sleep,
it can be at a genetic level. Like, everybody
to try the ashwagandha tea. I was like, you know what? That's kind of dope to have a doctor who, like, recommends not just Western medicine stuff, but, like, also, like, the more natural remedies. I fucked with that heavy. That most likely means he's cool with marijuana, which most doctors are now. Anyways, I told the nurse guy, he was like, do you do any drugs? Like, you know, smoke? I was like, I smoke weed.
It's different. Possibly
I'm gonna try that now too. Yeah, ashwagandha tea. He was like, sometimes I drink it when I have trouble sleeping, and I'm out like 30 minutes later, and I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. He said, what can it hurt? I mean, everything else has failed you. So I was like, yeah, I hallucinate off Ambien. He was like, have you tried like trazodone and everything? I was like, yeah, it just kind of like makes me restless. Everything makes my body restless, but my brain not slow down. Like that's my problem with even Tylenol PM. Like anything that like that makes you sleepy, like not opiates or anything like that, but like anything that genuinely makes you tired, like antihistamines or like PM medications, they make my body restless but my brain not slow down. So it's just like a fight, and then I'm pissed off because my body's restless.
My DMs are open. Suggest me topics. I will respond. I will respond to you if you reach out. If you say something crazy, I will screenshot it and make fun of you and post it on my story. Don't do that. So everything was going happy, and then on May 13th, she posted this.
Come with me to try to clean quietly as my boyfriend is sleeping. The last thing I want to do is disturb him.
I guess she woke the beast because she said, someone please help me. I'm at 1500 Park Ave, Memphis, Tennessee. Stranded and my phone's about to die. He took all my money, and I have no way home. I'm freezing, but I'm stranded because he took 600 from me.
Memphis.
And it's legitimately effective too. It's a different. You mean ashwagandha tea? Have you tried it?
The police, and it's been over 20 minutes and they're still not here. If anybody could come and help me, not be stranded in the freezing cold because it's raining really bad. Please help, because I just lost all my money. He just took $600 from me. Hey, so I changed my password on Venmo, thinking he would no longer have access to it. But it turns out he added his bank card, and now every time I get paid, he just takes all my money. I have no f***ing money. I don't know how to remove him, and I'm trying so hard to remove him from it. The cat isn't liking the cat food that she has right now. I was trying to buy her some new cat food, and I have to buy more cat litter. And I have money being stolen from me constantly. I don't know how to disconnect his bank account from it. But he has all my money and I have nothing. So, yeah. I think I'm just gonna make a new Venmo account and a new PayPal account. Because I'm tired of all my money being stolen from me. For no fucking reason. And don't you love whenever you ask, hey, can I have my phone? And then it's slammed into your face? Yeah, I love when that happens. I love when I get woken up, dragged out of bed, and then slapped in the face repeatedly, saying, you know what you did. But anyways, I'm broke, and all my money was just stolen from me.
Apparently, Preston attempted to defend himself, saying, he said, I'm not enabling or controlling this behavior, Miss Girl. I'm trying to stop this crap from getting worse. She's been this way before she ever met me. And I've had plans to turn our mentality around. Our mentality? Get out of Memphis and stop this online crap show. And actually get jobs. But Kaylee is now out here selling her body online behind my back while I'm sleeping. And I believe I've seen on the Reddit today that he's actually taken a part in this in her online body selling. So, and also it's important to say that it has been also alleged that Callie is selling pictures of her from when she was underage. That is absolutely 100% illegal. Here's one of her accounts here. Notice it says Flower Girl Playground, saying, help me help yourself out on here. Flower Girl Playground. It says 18 plus, only taking PayPal. One user saying the whole playground thing is actually really messed up and concerning. Another, she knows what she's doing. Playground, she's obviously pandering to P3DOs. So disgusting. Here she's got a Telegram link, and people do bad things on Telegram. Not saying that she's doing bad things on Telegram, just saying that people do bad things on Telegram. One user saying, does anyone else find it strange that in the story to get people over to her Telegram, she's wearing a children's clothing brand, shorts? I think she knows exactly what she's doing. I also can't confirm if she's actually wearing children's clothing. I don't know. Apparently, Preston is writing her captions on Instagram. Apparently, Preston broke up with Kylie, and the aftermath of this is, well, he posted on her account, because he has access, saying all of her bags packed on the street per request by the host. She can figure this out on her own. The ovulation test I found in the bathroom. And then Preston posts a recording when Kylie comes to the door. It says, if you can't live without me, then why did I find an ovulation test on the counter? Plus, every time you leave while I sleep, I hear another story on how you got raped. If you need me so bad, why are you trying to invite random men and women over to blank?
Preston, I can't live without you.
You can't be here, Kelly. You got trespassed. The host doesn't want you here.
I'm going to leave. I'm going to. I just don't want you to come back to me.
I'm not coming back to you.
What do I do?
You're an adult. Figure it out, just like I can figure it out.
But you're the one who basically. Can you stop recording me?
No, this is so I know you don't come inside this house. The host doesn't want you here.
I'm not coming inside.
They don't even want you on this property, and I have to go.
Can I hit that babe?
No.
What?
You just got your own vape.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you did. I had a transaction at this place or whatever. They used my card on, so
No, I didn't. Please talk to me.
I can't.
Please talk to me. Preston, I need you.
Apparently the cops were called. Kylie with police tonight after indirectly implying that she was going to take her own life and begging for me back. The police made me give Twinkle to her. I guess that's the cat. These will be deleted ASAP. Her crying and begging for me back at the door to be let in after the Airbnb host kicked her out. And then her posting, come get it, ladies. You should have smelled that. Oh.
Hi to everybody who doesn't know, I am single now. I am single now. Me and him are no longer together. He has a restraining order against me.
And then she posted a lot of accusations that were very
Here, I'll
bad
move
about
it.
him. And I believe they're now back together, and he's running the behind the scenes of her spicy content.
There you go, buddy.
So that's what we're at with the story. It's one of the craziest stories that I've ever came into contact with, and what I wanted to make this video for was there was a lot of people that made videos on this topic that didn't put across the fact that this young girl is harming other people, and there is no excuse for that. They would make excuses for her, saying that it was like almost dismissive of the fact that she's harming people. Listen.
Yeah, so she's like scamming people.
It sucks. I hate to see it. My heart goes out to her. I hope that she recovers and gets better. But
part of it's true, but part of it's also not.
Actions and hurting of other people. She's manipulating other people. She's abusing other people emotionally. Like, this is not good stuff. And I'm here to make this video to say, do not donate to this person. Do not donate to people like this. Take that money and go give it to people who actually need it, who are going to do something with it. All you're doing by giving this person money is enabling their terrible habits, perpetuating not good things, so keep that in mind. With that being said, if you made it this far in the video, consider becoming a member of the Rep Squad. And how you do that, I'll subscribe, notification chart, be in the comment section after every single video, because I'm...
Wow, that was the whole story. We listened to that whole almost 2 hours.
Pennywise's little dance that he did in his circus. You know this. Like, you know. Like.
Oh, God.
Like,
Okay. My name's Ashley. Please don't spam my chat, though.
Hey, welcome back in today's video. A TikTok mom who centers her online presence around intimate relations with multiple people at the same time. Her name is Dana, aka It's Cinnabunny. It's been alleged that she uses her child as rage bait. Multiple ex-partners have recently...
Oh, good. To use your child as rage bait.
ABUSE, and it's also been reported that she's exploiting their community, and there's some not good practices that are going on, some things that just are not safe. Some of the hypocrisy and logic absolutely bends my brain. This person seems to think that 7-year-olds can consent to being filmed, as well as she thinks that
7-year-olds can consent to being filmed.
others based on if they're a 16-year-old or a 12-year-old. All that more.
Yikes, it's like me putting my kid on camera. Just because he wants to.
I mean, dang, in a long time ago.
If you're
Well, yeah, you've been on camera, but not like
account because it
That.
may have some uncomfortable things. And for obvious reasons, they have 96.1 thousand followers and 2.7 million likes. They also
Just
have
go.
Instagram with 47.2 thousand followers.
Just go hang out.
With 592 subscribers.
The other one? Oh, you want to put it up too? Okay, thank you. What a good boy you are.
It's about a rooster in the Starbucks drive-thru.
Your opinion about multiple relationship with sex? Like how she's having sex with multiple people at once? I think that's gross. I think it's disgusting. I think you should... Like, that's how people get STDs. Like, if you're double dipping, that's crazy. Don't ask my body count. That's fucking stupid. Goofy. Okay, go hang out. Come on. I'm trying to listen to this. No, I didn't say go hang out with anyone. Oh my god, guys.
Things like trademark infringement, copyright infringement, brand tarnishment,
we are hanging out just from a distance.
Financial penalties, and platform bans and content removal. Got some Sailor Moon, some Lilo and Stitch here, Pokemon. That song might literally get this whole entire video copyright struck. So, and paying taxes on alleged stolen art is like robbing a store and then paying sales tax on the stolen goods. It doesn't make the crime legal, assuming you're paying taxes. But maybe she did get legal permission from the Pokemon company. I mean, we just really don't know, although I would like to bet.
Yeah, I tried. I was like, you know, that one doesn't sound very interesting. I don't really want to listen to that one. Changed my mind.
Hey everyone, welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. So today we are covering another case from the world of TikTok. Because back in 2020, a video was posted on TikTok of a woman...
Do you think the cut on my thumb is healed?
No.
Why?
And it wasn't a cut.
Well, it was a mark.
Yeah, well, sometimes you get like skin hanging right there. No. And it hurts really bad.
No, it didn't happen. It was like just like basically like...
Yeah, and then it
ripped off.
That's what I'm saying, and then your skin rips off and it leaves a mark.
No, it's...
Okay, honey, I understand.
It was ripped off from the start.
That's what I'm talking about. But alright.
No, it happened...
Oh my god. Alright. I believe you.
Everything just seemed normal. However, what people didn't realise was this video, this seemingly normal video of this woman just dancing, had a very chilling and horrifying backstory. Because the woman dancing in this video was a woman named Nicola Priest. And to sum Nicola up, she was obsessed with two things. That was social media and herself. She would constantly post on social media, Facebook, Instagram, especially TikTok, of herself dancing. But there was another significant thing in Nicola's life, and that is that she was a mom. She was the mother of a young girl called Kaye. And Kaye was just the sweetest little girl. And you could see her all over her mom's social media, dancing with her in her TikTok videos. However, Nicola thought that there was one problem with Kaye, and that is that she was getting in the way of her sex life. And then one day she meets an evil man called Callum, and he was only with Nicola for sex. Nothing more, nothing less. That was the only thing that he was interested in. And from the moment they met, Kaylee was treated appallingly. She suffered extreme neglect, and then before you know it, the absolute worst happened. And what is one of the most shocking things of all about this case is that after the worst happened, Nicola took to TikTok to carry on posting her dancing videos. And that is what we are going to be covering today, an incredibly infuriating case. So let's jump in. And I just want to give a huge thank you to today's sponsor.
Oh god, her makeup was done and she looks so different.
Years Yes, now, they are my favourite documentary streaming service, and if you are a fan of true crime, which if you're here, I assume you are, you definitely need to check
Sweet
Majority
Lord.
out. But not just that, I mentioned this at the end of last year, but I
Anyways,
also
guys, sorry.
collaborated with Majority TV to create my very own true crime playlist, and it features some of my favorite true crime documentaries. There is one on Jonestown,
I was watering
Fred and Rose West, of course. There are so many documentaries in my true crime binge list, so if you want one place to go to,
this one is a bit intense.
and it's not just
Straight killed her baby.
They are a documentary streaming service, so they have documentaries from every single genre.
The last one wasn't so much true crime though, it was just like,
On the platform. I've recently just watched a documentary.
but this one, it's still TikTok.
Exact date of birth is not known, and she grew up in Birmingham in the UK, where she lived with her mom, sister, and her stepdad. Now, when it comes to Nicola's younger childhood, we don't actually know pretty much anything about that. The only thing we know is that it was a pretty normal childhood. However, then when Nicola gets into her teenage years, she began to go off the rails. She started using cannabis at just the age of 15, and she also started to have a very volatile relationship with her family. It was also around this time where she meets a fellow teenager by the name of Callum Redfern, who is very significant to today's case. They develop a close relationship. I think it's just a friendship when they're teenagers. But remember Callum, because he does leave the case right now, but he does come back up because he's evil. It was also around this time when Nicola started to become fixated and obsessed with her appearance. She dreamt of becoming a model. She constantly posted photos of herself all over social media. She liked to receive compliments from people. She liked to see the
Stop being creepy, dude.
She got a buzz out of that. And then when Nicola
Creepy's not a good thing. This is my son is at. Sorry. Hard to try and understand. I don't get it, and I don't fuck with you even a little bit. Damn! You don't fuck with me? The fuck did I do?
So when Nicola falls pregnant, she actually doesn't know whether to terminate the pregnancy or not. She felt like she was too young. She wasn't ready for this. But in the end, she did decide to keep the baby.
Damn!
And on the 31st of January 2017, she gave birth to a baby girl named Kaye Jade Priest. Now, at first, everything was bliss. Everything was perfect. It was like a little honeymoon period. Because Nicola, she still lived at home. She still lived with her mom and her sister. And between the three of them, they raised baby Kaye. Nicola received a ton of support. Her mom and her sister were great with baby Kaye. Nicola was posting her new baby all over social media, saying how proud she was of her baby girl, and that she was also, quote, over the moon, that she loved the name Kaye. She also shared a lot about her pregnancy journey, saying how easy it was. And if you looked on her social media, you would think that she was the happiest person on the planet to be a mom to Kaye. She wanted the whole world to know how amazing she was, that she was this amazing, strong, young mom. However, in reality, that was not the case. Because behind closed doors, Nicola didn't care about her daughter one single bit. Like, literally, she did nothing to help raise Kaye. She refused to change nappies. She never got up during the night to feed Kaye. She never bathed Kaye. She never showed her any affection. She never read to her. Nothing. Kaye was raised by the mom and the sister, so Katie's grandmother and aunt. Every single thing about Kaye, about how she was raised, was left to the mom and the sister. So what was Nicola doing instead? What was so important that made her ignore her daughter? Well, nothing. She was actually just doing nothing apart from being on social media. She was more interested in her romantic life. She would just be sliding into the DMs of other boys, flirting, trying to find her next hookup. Like, that is the only thing that she cared about. Posting selfies and hooking up with people. And whenever Nicola did spend some time with her daughter, that didn't go down too well either. Because there was one time, it was the middle of winter. So it was freezing cold. Nicola decided to take her daughter Kaye to the park, which is like, great, finally you're stepping up, trying to be a parent.
In the middle of winter.
She took Kaye to the park with no coat on. And I'm like, what the hell? What the hell is going through your brain? Why would you take a child to the park in the middle of winter
To make them
with
suffer.
no coat on? And the only
Because they want to
reason
have fun,
Nicola
but they're
took Kaye to
cold,
the
so
park in the first place is because she was
the
in
kid's
love
gonna
with her.
play
Like, seriously, she was just using
because they want
Kaye
to,
as an
but they're
accessory
suffering while they do it. That's abuse is why. It's thought out abuse.
Until 11 p.m. So then finally Kaye was brought home to be in the
Ridiculous.
warmth, and Nicola's mom was horrified. She was horrified.
Had
that
her
Nicola
out
took her
in the
daughter to
cold
park
without a
with no
coat
on,
at a
but she just
park
didn't
until
care
11
at
p.m.
all about
Well,
Kaye's
since there's one
well-being.
motherfucker
So it
in
was
here.
actually better for baby Kaylee to be raised by the mom and the sister. So now we jump forward a little bit. It is now the middle of 2018. Kaylee is around 18 months old, and Nicola gets into her first proper serious relationship. And this was with a man named Daniel Gregory. Now Daniel, he was around the same age as Nicola. The two of them met on social media. They started flirting on social media, and then it turned into dating, and then they were in this full-blown relationship. Now in the beginning of the relationship, everything was great. Daniel was actually
Till 11 p.m.
He kind of became a stepdad to Kaylee, and he was there for Kaylee more than her own bloody mother. So the three of them, they would go on days out. They were like this little family. I can just imagine that Kaylee was probably so happy to maybe even have her mom in her life and just to be spending some time with her mom, because Nicola didn't give Kaylee the time of day until Daniel arrived. And obviously she still wasn't bothering with Kaylee, but she was still kind of there, if that makes sense. And Daniel has said that Kaylee was just the sweetest little girl. She was so
What's up,
bubbly,
Milton?
she was so happy. She always had a smile on her face, and she was just an incredible kid to be around. However, it didn't take long for Daniel to realize something, and that is that Nicola was obsessed with social media. She constantly had her phone in her hand. She was constantly on social media, constantly scrolling, constantly taking photos of herself, constantly posting, recording videos of herself. She just wanted compliments from people. She wanted validation from others. And you can see all of this on TikTok, which was the main social media platform that she was obsessed with. The account had a few hundred followers, and there are tons of videos on there, mostly just like doing like the challenges and the dances, like the dance trends that were currently going on. There's actually quite a few videos of her dancing with her daughter, you know, pretending to actually care about her daughter. And Daniel realized that Nicola was very fixated on portraying this fake persona online, because she was sharing videos of her daughter Kaye, pretending to care about her, but in reality that was not the case. Nicola didn't care one little bit about her daughter. She left all of the parenting to her mom, to her sister, and now to her new boyfriend Daniel. Nicola was also, quote, obsessed with live streaming.
It's 7:59 here. I had neglectful parents too, but they were just trying to function ideally.
She wanted compliments from people. And this was so much more important
Yeah,
to
me
her
either.
than spending time with her own daughter. And I'm sure it didn't take long for Daniel to get completely fed up with this. However, things do not get better from here, because now Nicola has a massive falling out with her family. And according to Nicola, the whole falling out was because her mom Debbie was criticizing her parenting. And I'm like, well, yeah, you're not parenting at all. I think she has every right to criticize your parenting. But Nicola didn't like criticism. Oh, no, don't criticize her parenting. She's doing the best that she can. But her mom, Debbie, was just like, you're not doing enough for your daughter. You don't care about her. You're not looking after her. And Nicola was outraged by this. She said that her mom was judgmental and controlling. And I'm like, what? Your mum is actually just telling you the truth. However, Nicola decided, you know what, I don't have to put up with this. And Nicola packed up her bags and left. And she went to live with Daniel instead. And I really wish I could tell you that she left baby Kaylee behind, because that would have been better for everybody. However, no, that was not the case. She, for some reason,
Warranted critique,
she's
yeah.
her biological daughter, but she doesn't care about her. For some reason, she took Kaylee with her. And what was just
her mom
is that she forbid her family, her mom Debbie, her sister, everyone, from seeing Kaylee ever again. And that's just absolutely despicable, because the mom Debbie and the sister, everyone, they're the only people that actually care about Kaylee. And Nicola has just completely cut them out of baby Kaylee's life. She is using Kaylee as a pawn in these arguments, and it's just disgusting.
She's being a
So
weapon.
Nicola went to live with Daniel, but it wasn't just Daniel that she was living with. Daniel was also still living at home, so it was also his mom that they were living with. And Daniel's mom, Lisa, welcomed Nicola into the home. She welcomed baby Kaylee into the home, which was very generous of her. However, things were not smooth sailing at all, because Nicola is obviously living full time with Daniel and his mom, and this is when the troubling parenting style that Nicola had started to begin, because now Nicola's actually having to look after baby Kaylee because her mom is no longer around. So the first thing that Daniel and his mom Lisa noticed is that Nicola never showed any affection towards her daughter. She barely even spoke to her. She never cuddled her. She never gave her compliments. She never played with her. She never kissed her. She never bathed her. Like, she just never spent any time with her daughter. The only time Nicola would actually really interact with her daughter was when she needed to post a video with her on TikTok. She was far more interested in social media and just scrolling on her phone. Or
No, Milton, I have
just
not.
saying hello to her daughter. The only attention she ever did show Kaye was negative. She would scream,
Yeah, I agree.
shout at her, she would swear at her, she would call her names. Nicola actually called her daughter a little bitch. She called her a little rat. There were other times where she called her a quote rat bitch, and she also called her daughter a cunt. And why was Nicola lashing out at her daughter? It would be for the smallest things, like Kaylee tapping on her mother's leg to just get her attention. That was literally it. That was all it took for Nicola to lash out at her daughter. And she
Nah, dog.
directly to her daughter.
If you can't,
Kaylee was incredibly stressed. She was upset. She would be
even in my
screaming.
most stressed
She was
ass
so
moments,
scared.
my kid wants my attention. He's got my motherfucking attention. I might say, hold on a second, but you're gonna have my attention. Like, what the fuck?
Or maybe she just wanted a hug. And if Kaylee,
Yeah, like, how can you not even hug your kid? Like,
and when I say misbehaved, I truly just mean Kaylee was a toddler. She was curious about
like
the
you
world. And
gave. How can you just not care? Like, not caring about the person you birthed. It's just crazy to me. Like I almost died for that little boy in there. I love him to fucking pieces. Like, I can't imagine. Like, I almost died for him. I can't imagine being the one doing the killing. Like, that's fucking crazy. Like, how do you even get that? I don't know how you even get that in your fucking head, bro. And over sex? Over fucking sex?
And she was thinking, this is not right at all. Like, why does this child have bruises on her cheeks? So
Does she not know she's just gonna get pregnant and have another if she keeps that up?
She deserved it. She was being a little
But
shit, and Daniel
she deserved it. She was being a little shit. Okay, I can't. I've definitely called my son a little shit. I can't say I haven't.
that this was not acceptable. Like, you couldn't do this.
But calling your child a rat bitch is crazy.
And like this for about a year or so. Nicola is treating baby Kaylee appallingly and pretty much just getting away with it until eventually in July of 2019. Nicola and Daniel decide that it's time for them to move out and get a place of their own. So they move into a 2-bedroom flat.
What you didn't mean? Oh, I meant it. He's a little shit.
She's now 2 years old and she starts attending.
But not in a malicious way, you know?
And Kaylee absolutely.
You like my brother because his friend died in his arms?
I'm not surprised because it is a respite for her from her.
Do I like your brother because his friend died in his arms?
She had lots of friends. She loved playing with the toys.
Milton,
She loved playing with dolls. And
I don't like your brother just because his friend died in his arms.
Her dolls is she would pretend to care for them. Like, she would be very motherly towards the dolls, and I can't help but just think that is what she wishes her mom was like with her. Kaylee was also incredibly polite to the staff. She was very friendly. Everyone just loved Kaylee. She was so bubbly. She always had a smile on her face. The staff also described Kaylee as very active, very self-driven, and they described her as a busy little bee. At this point in Kaylee's life, Kaylee seemed to be thriving.
Yeah,
No one had
true.
any concerns about her. When Kaylee was at home, Daniel really stepped up, and he was basically her sole carer. Nicola did nothing. Daniel basically raised Kaylee. He would be the one to feed her. He would be the one to bathe her. He dressed her in the morning. He would take her on trips out. He would talk to her. He would read to her. He would comfort her. But then something else happens. Nicola falls pregnant. And I'm like, oh my God, really? No. People, wrap it up. Like, seriously, she doesn't even want her first child. Use some sort of protection. Now, Daniel, he was over the moon about becoming a dad because he was a good person. He was being a really good dad to Kaye. Kaye was also thrilled about becoming a big sister. And for this short period of time, everyone seemed to be very, very happy. However, would things stay like that? No, sadly not. Because now we get to March of 2020. This is when the pandemic, COVID really hit the UK, and this is also the same time that Nicola went into labour, so not the best timing really. However, everything was fine with the birth. However, after
I think it's blunt time. I'm going to bed because I'm tired.
This is when something very important happens, because it wasn't long until Daniel and Nicola
You get you
had
some
a
sleep,
huge
buddy.
argument. Nicola accuses Daniel of speaking to other girls behind her back.
I so agree. If you hate kids that much, look, nobody knows how they're gonna parent until they have a kid, okay? So you could think you're gonna be the best parent and you're the worst parent. Or you could think you're gonna be the worst parent and be the best, alright? So it goes, you know, whatever. Nobody knows until they have one. But listen, if you know you don't like parenting and you know by your first experience, right? Why keep having kids? Why? Raise your kid you have, you already don't like anymore.
Because pretty much straight away after the
if you dislike your kid that much, fucking put him up for adoption. It's better off than fucking killing him. Deadass.
To find anyone really.
So if nah, just stop fucking having kids, bro. You know what leads to it. Stop fucking having kids. Like, there's no point in having like 8 kids and you hate them all. Like, what the fuck? You're just gonna hate your life and all the kids. Like, and that's when tragedies happen. Stop.
Because that is all their relationship is about. It is just about sex. At least it is for Callum. Because over the next few weeks, they are spending a lot of time together and they just have sex. That is it. That is all their relationship is. But within no time, Nicola started to fall head over heels for Callum. However, that's what Callum didn't feel the same. Because to him, this relationship was just sex. That is the only thing that he wanted from it.
Jesus.
In his mind, they were friends with benefits. Nothing more, nothing less. But did he let Nicola know this? No, he didn't. He definitely strung her along. He made her believe that they were essentially boyfriend and girlfriend. Not that I feel sorry for Nicola at all, but yeah, Callum is very evil as well. Nicola would text Callum saying, "Oh my God, you're so sexy," and he would reply, "So are you, baby." Nicola would then text him, "I love you, baby. Never forget that. You mean so much to me." And Callum would just be like, "Yeah, okay." And why was Callum doing this? Why was he leaving?
Honey, hang on, I can't really hear
He was
you.
getting a lot of benefits from this relationship. First
Oh
of
my
all,
God, so he gets louder.
whenever he wanted, he had
Sweet
sex.
Lord,
But he
save
was
me.
also using Nicola as a human ATM. Nicola would give Callum money whenever.
Where the fuck is my
he wanted,
grinder?
because she felt so in love with him. There was even one
Gone,
time
apparently.
Nicola gave Callum £900 so he could go
it's
out
over
and
here.
buy a BMW. And I just want to point out that Nicola's financial situation at this point is not great. She is unemployed. She just lives off benefits, and she's trying to raise 2 children. And since Daniel has left as well, Nicola is obviously left to pay all of the bills on the flat, and she was getting into so much debt. It was piling up and up. She was getting letters through the door regularly threatening legal action. So yeah, her financial situation is about as bad as it can get, but she's still giving all of her money to Callum. And Callum took the £900 to buy himself a BMW, but the car that he bought, which was a BMW, it only cost him £600. But instead of giving the £300 back to Nicola, he just pocketed that for himself. And
Of course he did.
Like that all the time. He would always just say, like, oh, I need some money for this. And Nicola would be like, here you go. And it's just crazy to me that Nicola has never cared about anyone ever. She's never shown any affection or attention to anyone. But then Callum comes along, and she's just so different. She's so obsessed with him. However, if you think all of that is bad, oh, it gets so much worse, because Callum, he is basically a walking red flag. It couldn't be more obvious. He might as well have a red flag on his bloody head, because Callum had serious anger problems. He had very bad aggression. It took literally nothing to send him into a rage. He was always getting into fights with people in public. He was always getting into trouble with the police. He would always get into fights with his own friends as well, where he would, quote, threaten to smash their faces in. So yeah, he's just a great person all around. That's definitely the kind of person you want around your children. There was one time where he got arrested because he went to his ex-girlfriend's house to get revenge, and he climbed on her car and just started smashing the windows and smashing the car up. There was even another incident in his BMW car that he bought with Nicola's money, where he placed the two children, so Kaye and the new baby boy, in the back of the car, and he just starts speeding and racing all over Birmingham, driving incredibly dangerously with two children in the back of the car. And this actually resulted in a car chase with the police. And I don't know where Nicola was. I don't know if she was in the car or not. I just don't know. But it's like, yeah, not the kind of person you want to be around, and especially not the kind of person that should be around children. So hopefully that gives you a good idea of what Callum is like as a person. And the relationship between Callum and Nicola goes on like this for a few more months, where it's basically just very sexual, and Nicola is just giving him money all of the time. However, there is something very significant that happened during this period, and that is that the treatment of Kaye got so much worse. Now, we already know that Nicola is an incredibly neglectful parent, so it's like, how much worse can it get?
Yeah, never mind.
Since Kaye was born, she had always had other people to fall back on. When Kaye was first born, she fell back on her mom, and then she fell back on Daniel. Daniel basically raised Kaye. However, those two people are not around anymore to raise Kaye. So the neglect of poor little Kaye was on another level.
It sure is.
So at this point, Kaye is only 3 years old. She's still so incredibly young. She needs a lot of care, a lot of affection and attention. But Nicola did absolutely nothing for her. Kaye was not fed properly. She always was hungry. This led to malnutrition. Kaye started losing a lot of weight. Kaye also had very poor hygiene. She was never bathed properly. She had to dress in dirty clothing because her clothes were never washed. She also was left in dirty nappies for hours. But not just that, Nicola never gave Kaye any stimulation at all. She never had any toys to play with. There was no books. There was just no stimulation, nothing. Kaye was just left there as a 3-year-old to basically just stare at a wall. And to make things just even worse is that Kaylee's bedroom, and I use that word very loosely, was also completely bare. There was no bedroom furniture. There was just a dirty mattress on the floor. No sheets, no covers or anything, just a mattress that was incredibly dirty on the floor. There was also no carpet down, so there was just exposed floorboards. There was no curtains or blinds up, and there was also no light bulb in the room either. So when it got to night time, Kaye was just left to sit on this mattress and stare at a wall in the dark. The room was also incredibly filthy. It was filled with debris, dust, mold. Nicola never cleaned that room, and it's just an awful environment, and it's horrible to think of any child just being left in a room like that. But it gets even worse, because now that Nicola is so fixated on Callum, she neglects Kaye even more, and instead she spends all of her time trying to please Callum instead, which meant that, for example, Nicola would throw parties late into the night for Callum and his friends to please Callum and impress him. But this meant that Kaye was just locked in her bedroom to keep her out of the way. Nicola and Callum would do drugs together in front of Kaye. They would shout and argue all of the time in front of Kaye as well. This was the worst
Hey,
kind
Stephanie,
of
what's
environment
good?
for a child you can imagine. But not just that, Nicola and Callum would lock Kaylee in her bedroom quite frequently so they could have sex. And this was at the request of Callum. He just wanted her out of the way. He would usually just pick up Kaylee himself and lock her in her bedroom, which is just a mattress on the floor, remember? And he would just abandon her so himself and Nicola could have sex. And this probably doesn't come as a surprise to any of you, but Callum also despised Kaylee. And I don't know why, because he doesn't seem to despise the baby boy as much. He just seems to despise Kaylee. And I don't know if it's because she's older and she gets in the way more and she was maybe more annoying to him because
she's not his,
and
that's
it's just
why.
easier to ignore a baby. I just don't know. But because
I'm telling you why.
so much, he wanted her out of his way and kept locked away as much as possible. And what would happen if Kaylee didn't stay out of the way? Well, Callum
I see her, baby.
encourage Nicola to physically punch her daughter. And this is now where this case
Some guys like that, they show favoritism towards their own child against the woman's other child because it's not his. Like, it's not his biological child. So he therefore almost despises said child and loves his own. I've seen it a million times. It's literally what it is.
There were always bruises all over Kaylee.
Women do it too. They'll not like a person's kid because it's just not theirs.
Because they didn't want to get into trouble.
That's just what it is. If it was their kid, they would love it, but it's not their kid. It's like another man's child. Some Cinderella for real.
However, whenever the neighbours confronted Nicola about the screaming child that they could hear, Nicola would just say that her daughter had fallen out of bed, which was obviously a lie because Kaylee didn't even have a bed. And it was really easy for them to keep the abuse hidden as well, because you got to remember that it's the COVID pandemic right now and everyone is in lockdown. However, they weren't able to completely hide the abuse because they did hire a young babysitter one time so that Nicola and Callum could go out. And when the couple returned, Nicola started striking Kaylee over the head multiple times in front of the babysitter. And why was Nicola striking Kaylee over the head on this particular time? Well, it was simply because Kaylee told her mom that she was hungry. So the young babysitter witnessed all this, and when I say young, I mean like a teenager, like a school-age teenager. So they are incredibly young and they didn't know what to do. They were horrified, of course, but they were also kind of scared. So the abuse again went unreported. It was still hidden and the abuse of Kaylee continued. And by the time we get to the end of July 2020, which is around 4 months after Callum has come into the picture, this is when things start to get even.
What's up, X?
Because Nicola and
What are we watching or listening to this morning? We're listening to this true crime story about this TikTok mom who killed her daughter and then proceeded to dance in a video.
She keeps leaving the living room. I have smacked her for shitting her nappy. Callum then replies, give her a smack from me as well. To which Nicola says, I will, babes. In another conversation, Nicola says, it's going off in my life. I'm angry. Callum says, why? What's up? To which Nicola replies, because Kaylee, I told her she's a brat for hitting me. I've cut my hand because of Kaylee now, babe. I want to kill some bitch. To which Callum says, keep that little brat away from me. And then in another conversation where they were discussing plans for Callum's birthday, Nicola says, we can just bring Kaylee with us. She can play with the other children. To which Callum angrily says, not with her face and legs bruised like that. I'm just staying in my bed on my own. I can't be arsed anymore. I'm sick of that brat daughter of yours. I could happily go and kill myself to make my life stress-free. And seeing those text messages are so concerning. For Callum to say that he is going to take his own life rather than put up with the brat of a daughter, Kaylee. It's like she's 3 years old. She's done nothing wrong. And Nicola, we know, is so obsessed with Callum. She wants to do everything to please him. Hearing those words from Callum, as well as a lot of other things from Callum, she's probably worried that her daughter, Kaylee, is getting in the way of her relationship. Because Callum is expressing so much hate towards this 3-year-old girl for no reason.
How's your morning?
And sadly, days
it's the morning.
This is now where we get to the tragic events of today's case. Because on the 8th of August 2020, this was a Saturday, so
Yeah.
his 5-month-old baby son had been dropped off at his dad Daniel's home for the weekend.
Like, just hearing that conversation that they just had about this poor little girl. She's 3 years old. I know kids are stressful.
So it's just Nicola and Kaylee that live in this flat 24/7.
And I'm not going to say that they're not, because I know that they are, having almost 7-year-olds.
Currently 3 years old, and Nicola is only 22.
But what the
She's
fuck?
so incredibly young. And on this day, Nicola and Kaylee are seen on CCTV leaving their flat. And you can first see them getting into the lift going down. And poor little Kaylee is stood in the corner. You can just see that she's looking at her mom for attention. But Nicola, the only thing that she's interested in is her own appearance in the mirror. So you can see her constantly checking her appearance. She's constantly checking her phone as well. Not once does she look at her daughter. Not once does she talk to her daughter, interact with her daughter in any way. Next, you can then see them walking out of the apartment block. Again, Nicola is still not showing her daughter any attention. They head towards a local park and they walk around for a little bit. A while later, you can see them return. They are waiting for the lift to go back up. And again, Nicola is just completely ignoring her daughter. She is more interested in checking out her reflection in the lift or looking at her phone. And it's just so heartbreaking, that whole interaction. And you can just imagine that that is what every day was like for Kaye.
The way that little girl looks up at the camera. She's just looking up at her mom, just like, she looks so sad.
I just don't understand people.
And then she finally just looks away.
How can you ignore a child like that? How can you ignore your own daughter like that? And she's just so well behaved as well. You can see that she's just stood there in the corner. She's probably scared of her mom to even step a toe out of line. And it was just hours after this CCTV footage was captured that the absolute
What did you say?
Nicola was at home with
Yeah, you're weird.
when Callum sent Nicola a text
I'm
message
concerned.
saying that he was on his way over. Callum arrived at the flat and brought one of his friends along with him.
Yeah.
Like when a monster
A large bottle of vodka. He was planning on getting very drunk that evening.
My name's Ashley.
When they arrived, Kaye some chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggets? The way she just said chicken nuggets. Buzz in my hair.
And then at around 7 p.m, the friend went out onto the balcony on his own. Callum and Nicola took Kaylee into her bedroom and just left her there on that dirty mattress. And then afterwards, when the friend is still there, Callum and Nicola just cannot help themselves. They start to have sex. And whilst the two of them are having sex, Kaylee actually starts crying from her bedroom. Now, Callum and Nicola were so angry that Kaylee was crying because she was interrupting them having sex. So Callum storms into Kaylee's bedroom, Nicola follows, and we don't know the exact details of what happens next. But given the injuries that Kaylee sustains, we can only assume that one of them, if not both, Callum and Nicola, were severely beating Kaylee up. They were severely beating Kaylee for interrupting them having sex.
Come on. No. You don't need to hear this. God, Jesus Christ.
Kaylee's bedroom would have devastating consequences.
Alright, got it.
Because after leaving
Crap.
Kaylee's bedroom,
It made me click out all my stuff. I was trying to hurry up and pause it so we didn't hear it.
to spend some time with Callum's friend.
Jesus Christ.
God knows what he was thinking. And then around 10
Like,
minutes
no!
after that,
I don't need to hear these words.
and this poor little girl was being violently sick everywhere. And I mean violently, projectile vomit everywhere. Now, neither Callum nor Nicola cared. Neither one of them had any sympathy. Callum definitely didn't want to help Nicola clean up. And not long after this, Callum and his friend leave the flat, leaving Nicola and Kaylee alone. And after Callum leaves, Nicola just ignores her daughter and goes back to spending so much time on her phone, on social media, even though her daughter is actually still being violently sick in her bedroom. At around 9:30 p.m, Nicola starts making Google searches of a sexual nature, whatever that means. That is all we know. And then afterwards, she takes a series of selfies and she posts these online. And then at around 10:30 p.m, she messages Callum saying, "It was so nice seeing you today and good sex. I love it and I love you. She then also sends a message to Callum saying, oh, and Kaylee's also still being sick as well. 19 minutes after this, Nicola shares an image on Snapchat of her neck with a love bite on it. She also downloaded an image of the internet with the quote, I want to hit someone with a crowbar. And I'm like, why is she always so angry? And then not long after that, she starts making a number of very concerning Google searches relating to infant deaths, miscarriages, and just...
Okay, let me see it. Come on. Now, let me take it off. I'll give you a new one. Come here. Let me see your thumb.
But I feel way better.
Let me see it.
I feel way better.
Yeah, but something's going to touch it, and it's going to hurt it. That's why you keep a Band-Aid on it.
Then why does it not?
Okay, come on. Just put the Band-Aid on. Let me see your thumb. I've already got it open. Come on.
It doesn't even feel that bad.
I know. That's because it wasn't that bad to begin with. But you wanted a Band-Aid.
Well, it did hurt that bad. But now it doesn't.
Okay. Oh, wait. That's way too loose.
What do you mean? That was way too good.
Okay, here you go. I got me smoking cigarettes and like Cowboy Tom. Can you collab with me on your biggest hand? What? Are you trying to say you're my biggest fan, Harley? On my biggest hand. I've got to go pee though, guys. What's up, Dane? I'll be right back. Don't leave me, because we got a blunt to smoke when we get back and to keep listening to this foul-ass story. So I'll be right back. Don't miss me too bad. I know you all will, of course. Right back. Oh, pop my number 2. Okay, right back. Okay, your girl's back.
Very concerning things relating to babies. And given that
Poor Pav.
violently sick in another room after being severely beaten, these Google searches are very concerning. Following this, Nicola then goes to sleep in her bedroom and she just leaves Kaylee to just deal with herself. And when Nicola wakes up the next morning, everything goes into a frenzy and things move very quickly from here. Because at 11 a.m. on the 9th of August, Nicola places a 999 call and she is absolutely frantic. Firstly, she starts screaming down the phone. She is saying, "Save my daughter, she's not breathing, I think she's dead." The operator tells Nicola to stay calm, to start performing CPR. Nicola tells the operator that she is doing this, but she tells the operator that it's not working. She said that her daughter was turning blue, and she tells the operator that she thinks her daughter fell and hit her head. After 10 minutes, paramedics do arrive at the scene. They rush inside Nicola's flat. They go straight to Kaylee. They find Kaylee is not moving. She is not breathing. They try to perform CPR. More paramedics come rushing in. They are trying to do everything in their power to save Kaylee, but tragically it was all too late. There was nothing the paramedics could do. And this is the moment where 3-year-old Kaylee Jade Priest was pronounced dead, which is just so harrowing to think about. The conditions that she was living in to start with, but the fact that she died, she was being violently sick after being severely beaten at the hands of her mom and her boyfriend. It's just so heartbreaking. And soon after Kaylee was pronounced dead, the police arrive. They begin their investigation, and this is when they immediately start to pick up on so many red flags. Because the first red flag was when the paramedics arrived, they noticed that Nicola was stood nowhere near her daughter. She was not acting like a concerned mom. She was not kneeling by her daughter, holding her daughter's hand, crying over her, trying to resuscitate her. No, none of that. Nicola had also not attempted any CPR, even though she had told the 999 operator that she was doing it. Nicola then started to come up with a fake story saying that Kaylee had fallen from a child's play table a few weeks earlier and that she had been under the weather recently. But one of the biggest red flags is that when police went into Kaylee's bedroom, there's pretty much nothing in it. It was just a mattress, a dirty, sheetless mattress on the floor. And Nicola's bedroom didn't look like that. It's not like they just moved in or anything and they were just dealing with the bare minimum right now. This was obviously no environment that any child should be in, so this was obviously very alarming to the police, and it was so suspicious that they immediately took Nicola in for questioning. And of course, in the interview, Nicola came out with a load of BS. She was trying to get out of what she had done. She kept saying that everything that happened with Kaylee, it must have been an accident, like her death was an accident. She must have hurt herself somehow and Nicola hadn't noticed, but the police were buying none of it. But from interviewing Nicola, this is when they learn about her relationship with Callum. So they bring Callum in for an interview as well. And Callum also comes up with a load of BS, saying that he wasn't even at the property. He doesn't know anything. How can he? He doesn't live there. He was never there. But suddenly, in Nicola's police interview, she completely turned on Callum, which I was not expecting because she's so obsessed with him. She started saying that he was an abusive man, which is highly likely. We obviously know that he was abusing Kaylee. And Nicola started saying that it was all Callum. It was his fault. That he must have been abusing her daughter Kaylee behind her back.
Yeah, fake vape.
No,
That's
it was
funny.
in front of you, and you also joined in. If
Good,
anything,
X is still
from
here.
what we know of this case, what has been reported, Nicola was actually the more abusive out of the two towards Kaylee. So then the police go to Callum about these accusations, and now Callum turns on Nicola, and he said that she was an abusive and neglectful mom, which is the truth. And he said that it was all Nicola's fault. So the police didn't have a clue who was actually responsible. Were they both responsible, or was it just one of them? So unbelievably, after
I thought you were in Kansas.
the police released Callum and Nicola out on bail. And this is when we get
Where
some
the
of
fuck are you from, Padre?
case. Because after getting back home, what does Nicola do? Well, she does her favourite thing and takes to social media. She doesn't mourn her daughter's death. She's not falling apart. Oh no.
You're going
She
to the
gets
pool later?
straight back to social
Ooh,
media,
go swimming
and she
for
starts
me.
posting on TikTok.
I can do
Unbelievably,
cold
Nicola
water.
starts recording videos of
You move
herself
around a
dancing
lot for
around,
work.
doing those little dance challenges and stuff, and
Yeah.
posting them on TikTok. And I'm like,
Right,
what the
Pop.
actual
I'm
hell?
on
Is
to
that the
you.
first thing that's in her mind to do when she gets home after her daughter has died?
I'm on to you,
From her own
Pop.
actions. She also posts like a makeup haul on TikTok as well, how she's so happy with her latest makeup
Check me
purchases. And again,
then
are just
Kansas.
completely and utterly
Now
ridiculous.
Colorado.
And when you know what has happened, just
Pop.
prior to her posting these videos on
X,
TikTok,
at least I know
it's
you're
just
in
so
Ohio.
how did she post herself on TikTok dancing? Her daughter has
The
just
finger
lost her
version?
life,
You have
seemingly
flippers?
at the hands of herself and her boyfriend. And whilst
Oh,
Nicola
the
was
ones that
posting
go on your
videos of
hands.
herself
I got
dancing
you.
on TikTok, the results of Kaylee's autopsy were released and the true extent of her injuries were revealed, because it was found that Kaylee had a whole host of very severe injuries. First of all, she had multiple fractures to her arms, multiple fractured ribs. She had chest injuries, stomach injuries.
It's too early for this
She
bullshit.
even had a collapsed lung. She also had an injury to her right jaw, which indicated that she had been struck very hard in the face, either by a punch or a kick. She also had multiple fractures in her legs, again possibly indicating that her legs had been stamped on, or at least struck very hard with a heavy object. But what was the most telling in this autopsy is that these injuries alone had not been sustained on the day of her death, but had actually been building up over a longer period of time. In total, she had over 20 fractures to her ribs, with 5 of these fractures coming around 21 days before she died. So 3 weeks prior to her death, she already had 5 fractured ribs. There were also other fractures on her body that dated back a couple of weeks. Some of the broken ribs had actually started to heal, but then they had been broken again.
Did you just ask Pablo what the name of his child is?
Multiple
It's a little personal.
occasions. Her sternum was also fractured, indicating that someone had applied severe pressure to her chest, almost suffocating her. In the hours leading up to her death, it was shown that she had 19 different rib fractures, all at the same time. And the injuries were so severe that the coroner had said that the injuries that Kaylee had sustained...
His child's name's Ashley.
...hit by a speeding car or falling from 3 floors onto concrete.
He named her after me. Guess your email. I'm gonna guess it's Official Rainbow Loom Channel. And yeah, I changed it up a little bit.
That she was murdered. These injuries are appalling, and it just shows you.
I'm not positive I'm comfortable divulging that. No, your daughter's name's Ashley. So it's you. No, I'm not his daughter. He just named her after me.
And when it came to the cause of her death, it was found that because of these beatings over a long
Specifically, Ashley Nicole. Okay?
There was trauma.
Remember that.
There were small tears in Kaylee's brain caused by forceful jolts to the head. And finally, all of these injuries resulted in a lack of oxygen and blood to the brain.
I make all my friends name their kids after me.
And just to make things even worse, we know that Kaylee was being violent.
And then I have to be their godparent, so make sure you let everyone know.
There could have been a chance to
Maybe next time.
if she was immediately seen to by medical professionals.
Damn.
Kaylee could still be here today. But instead, Callum just ignored Kaylee, didn't care, didn't want to help, left the flat with his friend, and Nicola just ignored her daughter all night. She just spent her time scrolling on her phone, being on social media, making those very concerning Google searches. Instead, she could have just dialed 999, got an ambulance out, and saved her daughter's life. But no, she didn't do that. She couldn't even do that. She just left her daughter to die alone in that bedroom that was just a dirty mattress on the floor.
So it's 6969696969 joules.
I cannot believe that 2 people could do that to a child, let alone once, but multiple times. They severely beat Kaylee multiple times, broke her bones.
That's crazy. Yeah, I got kidnapped
yesterday.
yesterday.
What I just find so heartbreaking is that the day of her death. We saw that CCTV.
Well, I'm glad they set you free.
Following her mom into
And your butt hurts.
going to the park and then returning home. In that footage, she already had fractured ribs.
After all that torture.
Injuries,
I don't think you were kidnapped.
She was suffering inside.
Sounds like somebody has a weird kink.
And those two people, Nicola and Callum, are pure evil. And unfortunately, the way this case ends is going to infuriate you even more. So following this, both Callum and Nicola were charged with murder, and in August of 2021, their trial finally happened. And throughout the whole trial, both of them just turned on one another. Both of them were blaming each other for the death of Kaylee. Nicola's defense lawyer portrayed her as a caring mother. And I know that a defense lawyer has to do their job, but I'm like, caring mother? Caring mother where? The defense lawyer portrayed Nicola as the innocent one, that she had gotten into a relationship with an abusive man, and it was all him. It was his fault. He had abused Kaylee. However, Callum's defense lawyer said that he was innocent in all of this. He was not even living at the property. Kaylee was not his child. He was not present at the time that these injuries had occurred. And Nicola was abusive, neglectful, and she was the one that was fully to blame. And pretty much the whole trial was just that, going back and forth. Callum's friend, who was there on the evening of Kaylee's death, appeared in the trial and took the stand, but he wasn't able to give much context. He said that he didn't know what was going on in Kaylee's bedroom. He never saw anything. He didn't know who was responsible. He just saw both Callum and Nicola going in and both Callum and Nicola coming out. And in the end, it was very difficult for anyone in the courtroom to pin down who exactly was responsible for Kaylee's death. And unbelievably, in the end, due to a lack of evidence on who exactly was to blame, by the end of the trial, it was found that Nicola and Callum were not guilty of murder. I'm sorry, what? They were actually found guilty of the lesser charge of manslaughter. And I'm like, hell no. Nicola was also found guilty of another charge of child cruelty, and we can assume that that was because she was the primary carer of Kaylee. But manslaughter. Manslaughter. In what world is this manslaughter? So, because they were only found guilty of manslaughter, Nicola ended up being sentenced to 15 years, and Callum was sentenced to 14 years. And given that they were 23 and 22 at the time of sentencing, that means that if they do serve their whole sentence, Nicola will be released when she is 38 and Callum will be released when he is 36. But both of them could get out earlier than that if they behave well in prison. And it just makes my blood boil that neither one of them were found guilty of murder. And we all heard what Kaylee's injuries were, what she must have gone through on multiple occasions at the hands of at least one of these evil people. And the difference between murder and manslaughter is the intent. And I think to severely beat up a 3-year-old child to the extent that they did with Kaylee, I am sorry, but that right there is intent to murder.
Yep.
She is a tiny, defenseless child who has already been neglected for a very long time. She is already malnourished. And to severely beat her up to the point where her injuries are equivalent of being hit by a speeding car, that is murder. That is intent to murder. And also, don't forget, the conversations that they were having over text message. Both of them were expressing very violent thoughts towards Kaylee. There was even mention of killing her at one point. So again, right there, you can even pass that as intent to murder. And even still, even though they both were found guilty of manslaughter, their sentences should still be longer. Because in the end, Nicola especially was such a neglectful mother.
I agree.
So fixated on herself. She was so obsessed with herself, so obsessed with social media and the validation that she would get from other people, that she just completely abused and neglected her daughter and just left her daughter to die alone in a filthy, disgusting room with just a mattress on the floor. And I don't know how either one of those people can live with themselves after what they did to that little girl. I just want to end this video focusing on the victim of today's case. Kaylee Jade Priest was described as a sweet, bubbly and charming young girl. She loved playing with dolls and teddy bears. She pretended to care for them, to feed them, the kind of care that she never received in her own life from her own mother. She was also incredibly kind and polite to those around her. She was always bubbly and smiley, made loads of friends at nursery. She always stayed positive despite everything going on.
I agree,
She
Pav.
had so much much more to achieve.
I agree. It's not worth the fix. Just get rid of them.
She was just 3 years old.
It's fucking. There's no point. There's not enough resources in the world that can make these people really change at the core. At the core of it all, they still have the same thoughts and feelings that they had. There's not enough schooling in the world that could teach these people how to be right. Period. And even if there was, it's not worth it for real. Some people don't deserve to walk. Good enough. Yeah, anyway. Send another one to listen to. Yeah, you can't undo that kind of crazy. Period. So it's fine when we can smoke too. Deranged daughter lived with her parents' corpses for 4 years.
Light out, everybody. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to...
Sorry, I don't want a real podcast.
Oh, my crown went off. That's probably
What
why.
I click into?
That's true. My crown probably went off, and that's why.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I didn't drop crown. Good eye.
No. Oh my god, please. Okay.
I wonder why nobody took this medallion. Why nobody took the jump medallion? That thing's so good. Unless they're using it as bait. It might be baiting them. Oh, did it bug? The medallion bugged? Wow. Wow. We got bugs on the bug season. That's why they didn't grab it. It bugged inside of the thing. Wow.
I don't know what I'm listening to. Hang on.
Came here, did the balls, got the POI cleared. Just for the medallion.
Somehow I'm in a different...
Oh, I know he mad.
Okay, I found the tab. There was multiple tabs open and I didn't know which one that one was playing. Exactly, Pav. You get it. You can't fix what you did.
Light out, everybody. What's up, everybody? Welcome.
I don't want to listen to someone's podcast. Okay, we're gonna listen to this one.
Police have their blind spots. When looking for 5-year-old Ashley,
5-year-old what?
there are only so
Ashley?
many places you can hide inside of a restaurant. But the problem is, almost every single spot is relatively easy to search.
We're gonna
The
listen to this
bathroom
together, you
requires
guys.
Someone sticking their head under the stall, you're gonna be caught. They're gonna peer. They're gonna make
5-year-old
sure
child
nobody's hiding,
found
and they
dead
wouldn't see you.
in ceiling
The
of
stock
Chinese
rooms,
restaurant
the kitchen,
run by
same thing.
parents.
You get one person poking around, hide and seek is over. There's not that many hiding spots, which leaves just that one door, the steel door. It's like the size of a small closet. Sometimes the room it's like a small room.
It's
and
a
if you
kitchen.
step inside and you close that door behind you, you might as well have taken a portal to a different world, because once that door clicks shut,
They're talking about the freezer.
the shivering, the numbness, you can't feel your ears, you can't feel your fingers. You're trying to bang on the door to be let out, but you're more clumsy. It's normal, because this is exactly what happens when you are trapped inside of a giant freezer. The idea of working with a freezer big enough for you to walk into and then being trapped inside of one has seemingly become one of the top 15 slightly irrational fears of the everyday person. I have yet to step foot inside of a commercial walk-in freezer, but I do have random, perhaps intrusive thoughts about being trapped in one. So much so that there are Ask Reddit threads asking people, in the hypothetical world, if you were to be trapped inside of a commercial walk-in freezer for the night, let's say at a restaurant,
You
what
can't.
do you do to survive?
You can't. They don't lock like people think they do. Sorry, I'm already over that one. That was not as interesting as I wanted it to start out. A 7-year-old serial killer? What the fuck? I don't know. Nothing quite yet. We're trying to find something to listen to. I guess we could listen to Swoop. We used to listen to Swoop all the time. Okay, well, listen to this.
This video is sponsored by
Yeah.
Simply Safe. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
As you can read in the caption above, we're a family of 6 going on 7 living in a 1-bedroom apartment. As the kids grow older, that means we constantly have to adapt our environment to give them more needs for privacy and extra space. When outside our environment appears cluttered, disorganized, what have you. But quite frankly, after making do for nearly 3 years now, I have nothing but a grateful spirit for the roof over our head. And only the instant judgment me and my husband receive. Why have so many kids if you don't?
I don't know if you guys have heard of the Resilient Jenkins family, but it's TikTok's most hated family channel, apparently. There's like 7 kids. They're sleeping on the floors and shit. I don't know much about them. You're about to find
Don't
out.
have enough space for them. I, for one, believe that financial
Yeah, I have this
situations
nostril
should
pierced,
never
this nostril
affect
pierced, and my
how a
septum.
child develops and their growth and their opportunities. But I kind of goofy when people think that, like, I'm playing this lifestyle of broke.
Why are you having more children if you can't afford to house the children that you already have?
My kids want to be a part of my videos. They feel like they're on TV. They feel like little celebrities. Pretty soon here we're going to lose our benefits and we're going to have to pay out of pocket for all of our needs.
Watching the Resilient Jenkins exploit her children for money, misusing that money. She doesn't want your help. She wants your money.
Listen, TikTok, I have plans. I'm going places. My analytics tell me people don't make it through more than 2 to 3 seconds of my videos.
And she talks about, like, if I can make money off of making TikTok content, my husband says that we can have more children because now we can afford them.
Y'all are always asking me, what does Drew do? He's not just some man that sits on his ass and does nothing for his family.
Drew Jenkins was just served for being in contempt of court for not paying his child support.
So he's being...
Same with my baby daddy.
He is the mother of Drew's 12-year-old son that he hasn't seen in 7 years.
If you cannot have half a dozen plus kids and be adequately meeting each one of those trials. And ever since we were...
Yeah, you can't have 12 kids and hate one of them. Like,
For my kiddos, I want to take my next month's payment and take my kids to Disney World. So today marks the day that the Resilient Jenkins are being evicted.
so instead of paying child support for his one kid, he took the rest of his family to Disneyland.
Hotel, I don't care if that bothers you. I just don't.
This is a story where nearly everyone is a villain, but some of those villains are also victims. What you're about to experience is not your typical influencer story. This isn't about lavish vacations or curated feeds.
I'm excited.
This is a dark descent into
I
a
love
world where the
Swoop. Her shit's like a movie. I don't know if you guys have ever watched Swoop, but she's amazing. Swoop. We love 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 blunts. We love blunts. Okay.
between authenticity and exploitation blurs.
One thing you're always going to see on this account is authenticity. The real, the raw, the ugly. I'm not here to sugarcoat life.
We definitely see the ugly. Sorry.
So we're officially 2 weeks into being homeless and living in a motel as a family of 7.
And where the well-being of children hangs precariously in the balance.
How many times and how many people are going to show up at our door and do said welfare check before y'all going to catch a hint that these children are perfectly fine?
We're talking about the saga of family vloggers Stephanie and
Swoop
Drew
and
Jenkins, better known online as the Resilient Jenkins. On the surface, this is a story of a
Do you know Swoop?
against all odds, chronicling
You know Swoop. She has 608,000 views just on this video, so I would not be surprised if at least you know Swoop. She's like this beautiful black woman. She's got like blue hair, sometimes purple. She's so gorgeous. This girl. Hold on. This girl.
their life in the process. 5 kids, multiple cats, at one time all squeezed into a one-bedroom apartment. Now, Stephanie, the stay-at-home mom with grand social media aspirations, documents it all. The chaos, the cleaning, the lack of common sense when it comes to plastering videos of your kids in vulnerable situations online for millions to watch.
Okay, you're hiding your kid while they're at home. You're hiding their private life. You don't post your kid on social media. Do you take them out of the house? There's cameras everywhere. There's public. There's people. There's no hiding our children.
But beneath the veneer of what they say is raw honesty lies something far more unsettling. As we peel back the layers of the resilient Jenkins, you'll discover a web of contradictions, questionable decisions, and absolutely disgusting behaviors.
So we received 3 citations for the cats that we quote unquote.
Yeah, she doesn't just do true crime, like she just does documentaries.
From the
This is
of illicit substances.
this is just like
heavy substances, which there's really no evidence of that.
To the flat out refusal to get a W-2 job, something just doesn't add up.
Do you think I give a fuck opinion? No.
So we're gonna go on a wild journey together. I will dig into a lot of the controversies and their irresponsible and concerning behaviors. Then things will turn. It's going to get darker. And I'm gonna peel back deeper layers and try to attempt something that I've not seen much of when I've seen coverage when it comes to these two. And that's finding some compassion, because there is a darker layer to this story not often covered. And then it'll basically all fall down. As they do something so unimaginable, so deplorable that I can't possibly begin to excuse it. And the thing is, that's just fine with them, because at last they're viral stars, bringing in the views and money everywhere, perhaps giving the resilient Jenkins exactly what they asked for. But you know what they say, be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. And this is what we know. Oh, hi there. Hello, hi. It's my face again. Swoop! If you're seeing me for the first time, welcome. My name is Swoop, and I'm a documentary filmmaker, commentary creator, and I'm
She's
what we call
amazing.
Swoop Docs on complex stories, true crime, and social media influencers who abuse their power and manipulate audiences because, as they always say, it's not drama, it's dangerous. We emphasize critical thinking, break down selective outrage, and also do something kind of rare these days. We present different perspectives, play devil's advocate, and sometimes, depending on my mood, we take it to petty universe.
hang on, I'm gonna restart the stream, okay? Wait, that wasn't you, Harding? Okay, I'm restarting. Come to the new one, okay? Okay. Yeah, come to the new one. I'm restarting right now. Nah, fuck you. Oh, with the reacts.